This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Welcome, everybody. We are back. High school football is back on the Oklahoma Sports Network, and we have got a doozy for you tonight. One of the best games in Oklahoma. It's the Blanchard Lions and the Newcastle Racers at Racer Stadium in Newcastle, Oklahoma. A 4A2 collision and a renewal of the Tri-City rivalry, the first leg of the Tri-City rivalry. Josh Calloway on hand alongside my partner, Billy Collier. Uriah Martinez up top working the camera. Carson Wade on the production. Billy, I missed you last week. First off, it pained me to be away. You and Gene did a great job. You battled through some technical difficulties. We think we've got everything buttoned up tonight, and we're ready to go for, like I said at the beginning, one of the biggest games in Oklahoma, period, regardless of class tonight. This is going to be a huge crowd. Going to be a fun one.
Oh, and every year this is a big game. Has been for a long time. And this is one of those exciting games everybody gets up for. They play the JV teams at the first of the week, getting ready, kind of moistening the mouth, letting the slobber start. And then it ends with the Friday night game. And I think tonight is, like you said, a doozy. Just a great game. And, by the way, it pained us that you were gone last week, too. So
I missed it. I was out of town in Cincinnati. I was flipping it on. Every chance I was at a Reds game last Friday night. I was pulling up the YouTube stream every little opening I got just to see how it was going, what the score was. Obviously, Newcastle won big. Great way to start district play, and they're hoping to build on it. But, Bill, we talked about it, kind of similar. It's almost a parallel to what the Oklahoma Sooners are doing right now with their season. Like, they're off to this great start. Everybody's kind of reserving full judgment until the Texas game next week.
Right.
It's very similar for Newcastle. It's been a great start. You took care of Weatherford in the opener. That was a great win. The last few weeks have been, competition that they were expected to be, and they did soundly. But this is the game coming in that, we've been saying pretty much since the beginning of the season. That Blanchard game, they go win that, at the very end of September, going into October, and excitement's going to get really, really high. This is a huge game for Newcastle to make a statement, and, people across the state of Oklahoma to kind of find out if the races are for real or not tonight for a lot of people.
Well, and that's true. And I would hate to say they circled this game. They circle the game every year.
Right.
But last year, you remember, Newcastle got shut out at their place. And so I know there's maybe two circles and maybe a star and a check and an at and everything around this game. So they are excited. And I think this is going to be the test. No disrespect to anybody else, but I think this is going to be the test of what team we have this year. Again, you're right. Great win at Weatherford. Great scrimmage at Clinton even. Mm-hmm. But then the last couple weeks, it just they've been dominant, and they were supposed to be dominant.
Took care of business.
So tonight we're going to find out. This is one of the first games where they don't come in expected to be dominant. They're expected to play good. I think it'll be a great game. But I don't think either team is expected to dominate the other team.
It's going to be a massive crowd in here tonight. It always is, these Tri-City games in all sports. I think last basketball season we did Newcastle Tuttle on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jordan Ray came, and you couldn't fit an extra person in that gym that night. And every single time, we've had the pleasure, Billy, you and I, of it's our fourth year. So we've done Newcastle Blanchard, Newcastle Tuttle several times each now, both here and at their place. And it's always, just standing room only, packed, obviously, as you'd expect. A big road contingent comes. these games are awesome, and it's going to be the same tonight. These are two of the best teams in 4A, certainly 4A2, but 4A period. I'm just excited for this. This is just if you're just a fan of football. I mean, this is just going to be a big packed house rivalry. This is kind of what it's all about.
This could be one of those definitions of Friday Night Lights type games.
Yes.
And you're right. And what a lot of people don't know is because they're so close, about 11, 12 miles from each other, a lot of these players know each other. They know of each other, especially.
Right.
And during the off season, you might see them at the same places doing something together. But they're going to play, and they're going to play hard out here on the field tonight for those bragging rights. And knowing that tonight's game, whoever wins this game tonight has kind of a step ahead of the other teams in the Tri-City of controlling the season.
Huge game, yeah. I mean, because you're talking about something that's killed Newcastle last few years. Obviously, Jeff Brickman, he's talked about himself. Got this program to where they're making the playoffs pretty much every season. That's an expectation around here now. But if you want to make a deep run in the playoffs, you got to find a way to get higher in the standings.
Right.
It's not enough to just make it, because now you're going on the road to an Elk City last year, or the previous year, Tuttle. It's hard to go on the road in those places at the beginning of the playoffs. If you can find a way to win games like this, that's how you get home games in the playoffs, and that's where you can really start to make a deep run. So games like this, while both these teams are almost certainly going to be playing in the playoffs when we get there in November, the way your path looks is drastically different going back to games like this. These are the games you circle. So it's not a playoff game, but it's pretty much as close. It's right below. It's pretty close.
That's right. And in this division, you've got Blanchard, you've got Newcastle, you've got Tuttle, and those are all three expected to be at the top.
Yes.
So think about how much that means to win against at least one of those other teams. That puts you more in a home schedule type. And like you said, that changes everything rather than having to travel to a different division's second place team or first place team. So I think there's a lot going on this game tonight.
100%. Like I said, going to be a massive crowd. Beautiful night for football. The weather is fantastic, and we're excited and ready to get this one going, Newcastle and Blanchard. This is the Focus Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff. For more than 65 years, Focus Federal Credit Union has continued to deliver innovative products and services to our members about all things financial by anticipating needs and delivering exceptional member service. Stop by and experience the difference with our Tri-City branch at 1097 Northwest 32nd Street in Newcastle. Member NCUA. We're going to step aside for a moment. When we come back, Bill and I will let you guys know what the Blanchard Lions bring to the table, the names to know. We'll break down this matchup, the first leg of the Tri-City rivalry tonight at the Castle, Gene Reed Field, Newcastle, Oklahoma. The Racers and the Lions. Pre-game show rolls on next right here on OSN.
So that's Will, and that's Tim. And the farm has been in the family now how long, Tim?
100 years or so.
You stopped counting.
Yes.
The idea that 1.5% of this country is feeding 330 million people 3 times a day.
You shut down a lot of oil and gas, you shut down a lot of U.S. ag. All of a sudden, we start paying a lot more for food, and there's a lot more hungry people all over the world.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
back to Racer Stadium. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier getting you ready for this one. Newcastle and Blanchard going to be a fun one. Looking ahead, our schedule, the look ahead brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wing Tuesdays, boneless Thursdays. Why not any day of the week? Make it Buffalo Wild Wings. 9600 Service I-44, just minutes away from Newcastle. Wings, tenders, burgers, and so much more. Big fan of B-Dubs. So get out and get some wings this week. Thank them for sponsoring our schedule and our look ahead. So coming up on the schedule, next week we'll be on the road. We talked about it at the beginning of the season, Billy, but obviously beginning of the season, unlike last year, total opposite from last year. Last year we were on the road a lot, and then we were at home the whole back end of the season. This year we've been at home. That's already the fourth home game tonight. So we're going to be on the road a lot starting next week. We go to Bridge Creek. It's not exactly Woodward in terms of distance for you.
It's more like a path game than a road
You could
game.
walk there.
Yeah.
That's where we'll be next week. That's next Friday night. That's a 6:30 kick, or a 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kick next Friday. And then in 2 weeks, get your affairs in order now. When we go to Hera, that's a Thursday nighter, October 12th. That's going to trip some people up. It's going to trip us up probably.
Yeah.
But you got to get so October 12th, not next week, but the week after, Thursday night football. We're going out to Hera, which will be new for us. I've been out there before when I used to do Anadarko games, but I have been out there before. So that'll be a fun game for us in a couple of weeks. That's what's coming up, and obviously the back end of the schedule. We got class and SAS here, and then we go to Tuttle, to Bethany to end the regular season. So some big games coming up in the back half of the season.
Right.
We're going to be halfway home after tonight. Isn't that crazy?
That is
halfway through
weird.
the regular season, that is.
Yes.
We're going to play a football around here, but still.
Yeah. Oh, and it's a weird thing about that. We're already halfway through the season, and it just seems like it was yesterday. We were sweating to death, burning up against Weatherford.
I know.
Yeah.
It's pleasant tonight, yeah. So that's what's coming up. Thank again, Buffalo Wild Wings, our schedule sponsor. Go ahead and take a look at the district standings coming into play tonight. Obviously, we're only 1 week into district play, but here's what we're dealing with right now. As you know, the top 4 teams make the playoffs. Newcastle, the only team that's undefeated, so they're up top at 4-0. Blanchard in that 2 spot. Bridge Creek and Tuttle, they're all really tied. 2, 3, 4. That's really just kind of semantics, ABC order, because they all are 1-0 and they all have a point differential plus 15. They're 3-1 overall. That's where your cutoff is. And 5, 6, 7, 8. Hera, Classen, Bethany, and Tecumseh rounds out your district standings right now. And obviously we talked about it before, and we'll see how it shakes out, Billy, but Newcastle, Blanchard, Tuttle, and Bethany have ran this district. Those 4 teams have been the playoff teams. That's kind of what you come to expect. The first one of those matchups went down last week. Tuttle beat Bethany head-to-head, and they beat them by 20 points. So they got that plus 15. So that's a big feather in Tuttle's cap early, because these matchups, these bigger ones, the point differential is kind of where a lot of that stuff gets decided at the end. So big win for Tuttle last week over Bethany. That's why they're a dip below. And we'll see how the things shake out. Again, we're just 1 week in. We're just scratching the surface as we get into district play. But that's how things stand going into tonight. As for Blanchard, like we said, they are 3-1 to start the season. Knocked off Noble in their season opener and won that one big, 61-18. Their lone road game so far was at Piedmont. They lost that one 21-7. Piedmont, obviously a 5A program and a good one. And the last couple of weeks, they've got back in the win column, 34-31 over Shawnee. And then 46-13, the Lions beat Hera last week. So the Lions are actually 3-0 at home, 0-1 on the road so far. Season's still young. Coached by Jeff Craig. He's also the athletic director out there. 8-4 record a year ago. What are some things, Bill, that stands out about Blanchard and, some names to know? Anything you're looking for tonight?
Well, you can't go far with Blanchard without talking about their quarterback, number 6, Carson Cooksey. He's a senior this year. He is doing a really good job. He's in charge of running a more run-pass option, or you'll hear us say RPO. And what that means is he will watch the defense, and judging by what they do, he'll come back to passing. And it seems like more of the defenses they've played this year have tried to stop the run, and so he's smoking them over the top. Has a great arm, very accurate, does very well. They have 3 receivers that are averaging 75 yards a game. And that's number 1, Brayson Carter, number 9, Reagan Palmer, and someone that really nobody's talking about before the season, Corey Pierce, number 3. He's averaging 109 yards receiving. And they're rushing, like we said. Everybody's trying to stop the run, so they're going to the pass a lot more. So they're Vaughn McIntyre's their main running back. He about 37 yards a game, but it's because everybody's stopping him.
We'll step aside for the national anthem, continue to break down this game. Newcastle Blanchard pregame show rolls on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list. Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again. We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma, because we wouldn't be a community without you.
All right, back to Racer Stadium. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier getting you ready for the Tri-City rivalry, the first leg of it, that is. Newcastle and Blanchard. Blanchard will actually host Tuttle next week, so they'll get back-to-back dips in these big rivalry games. Newcastle will head to Tuttle, like I mentioned a minute ago, in the penultimate game of the regular season in late October. So, Billy, continuing to preview this matchup, like you mentioned, Carson Cooksey, the quarterback out there for Blanchard, he's got an argument as, you know, maybe the best quarterback in 4A. I mean, he's certainly up there. We have a great quarterback matchup tonight, obviously, with Jackson Burt coming from the Racers. Like you mentioned, Blanchard got a lot of receivers to keep an eye on. You mentioned Pierce, Reagan Palmer, Brayson Carter. They have a lot of guys. A stat that blew my mind. What was the rushing total? This Blanchard team throws the ball.
Right, 37 yards a game is how much they're top. Vaughn McIntyre, I didn't hear a lot about him at first of the season. He is their leading rusher.
That's amazing, yeah. It's a Blanchard team that, you know, clearly with Cooksey, who can move, he can run around, obviously, but it's a Blanchard team that likes to throw the football. So you're going to expect to see that a little bit. A test tonight, certainly, for the Newcastle offense, or defense, I should say. Also, Ross Johnston, we were scoping him out in pregame. Offensive lineman goes both ways. He'll play some defense for Blanchard, too. But big tackle, 6'5", 280 senior.
Big boy.
He stands out in pregame warm-up. So finding a way to get a pass rush and get around him will be a challenge tonight also for that Newcastle defense. What about Blanchard's defense?
Well, on Blanchard, they play a 3-4 defense, but if you saw the size of the three up front, this is going to be a good test for the offensive line. Like you said, a lot of their offensive line also plays defense as well, and they line up right there, and the four linebackers, they kind of stay back a little bit, don't get stuck in the gaps. They do very well. Their player, number 3, Corey Pierce, he has the most tackles. So he's leading with receiving yards. He also has 7.5 tackles a game. And you have Gage Ellison and Ben Hefner, who are also averaging 6.5 games. And so their linebackers are very good. They're good in coverage. They're also good in stopping the run. I think they're going to have a solid game. But that's what you need to look for on defense, is they do that 3-4, but they hang the 4 back a little bit farther instead of right up close to the 3.
Yeah, it's a Blanchard team that, you know, they've kept teams mostly under wraps this year. Obviously, they let Shawnee get 31 on the board. But other than that, Noble 18, Piedmont 21, Hara 13. They haven't really given up any, like, gaudy point totals by any means. So a test for Newcastle's offense as well. It's a test overall. It's a good Blanchard team.
Yeah.
It's a team that was certainly expected to be one of the better teams at 4A coming into the season. Like I said, headlined by their quarterback, Carson Cooksey. Linebacker Tyler Hughes, another one I throw in. He had a big tackle number a year ago. He'll be one to watch tonight as well. on that Blanchard defense. It's going to be a fun one here, Newcastle and Blanchard. We're getting close to go time. The racers are getting ready to run through the big inflatable race car. Blanchard's got their lion head, if you want to call it that they'll run through in just a moment. Other games in 4A2 tonight I want to touch on that we'll keep an eye on. Obviously, in district, Bridge Creek is at Bethany tonight. That's an interesting game because Bridge Creek, who we'll see next week, it's a team that won 2 games last year, I should say. They have 3 wins already this year, rolled over Class and SAS in their district opener. Coach Spangler, the father of Ryan Spangler, former basketball player, he's kind of got that thing turning in the right direction a little bit. That's an interesting game tonight, Bridge Creek and Bethany, to kind of see, is Bethany still clearly a cut above, or have they come back to the pack? Is Bridge Creek elevated? So we'll keep an eye on that one tonight. Elsewhere in the district, Hera is at Tuttle tonight. Class and SAS is at Tecumseh tonight. As far as other games in 4A worth keeping an eye on, Elk City's at Clinton tonight. Wagner's at Oologah-Talala. Wagner still feels like they're probably the best team until somebody knocks them off. And then Hilldale is at Ada. Those are all teams that are at the top part of their district. So a lot of really good games tonight across 4A. Anything that catches your eye there from 4A2 or other games in 4A?
Well, really, the Bridge Creek Bethany, I mean, this is a must-win for Bethany. If they lose this game, then they definitely are going to be looking at being kind of down this year. And like you said, I think Coach Spangler over there at Bridge Creek, he's doing more than just changing them. From what I understand, he's putting people in different positions. He's doing different things. He is changing their mindset over there. So that's one that really excites me. Being here in the Tri-City, that matters as well.
Teams are out there getting ready to do the coin toss. Newcastle in the all blacks. Blanchard in the road whites with the maroon helmet. As you get ready to get this matchup going, it's going to be a fun one. It's a loaded night on the Oklahoma Sports Network, by the way. 10 games on the docket tonight on OSN, including our game here at Racer Stadium. Cash in Southeast, Elgin and Ardmore. Lawton MacArthur is taking on Altus. That's a double OSN game. Midwest City taking on Duncan. Dell City, McAllister is a big one. Lawton High and Ponca City. Walters and Mangum, Eufaula and Huebner, and Muskogee and Putnam City West. 10 games on the slate tonight. So OSN is jam-packed. Get a second phone out. Get a laptop out. I say it every week. Whatever you got to do, get some other. We got a lot of action for you on OSN tonight.
Yes.
So if you want to get a second game, although if I'm going to be totally honest, in my humble opinion, we got the best one.
I think
Newcastle
so.
Blanchard is going to be a fun one. Excited for this.
Yeah, you know it's real good when they even talk in the newspapers. I think Eric said that we are on YouTube or Facebook tonight.
We are on Facebook tonight.
Facebook, so that, Facebook game. This is just one of those games in the state that people are going to be tuned into, and we're fortunate to get to see it face-to-face and get to talk to you guys watching it at home.
Absolutely. Appreciate everybody who's tuned in. However you found us, like Billy said, we're on YouTube. We are on Facebook tonight. We're one of the Oklahoma Sports Network Facebook games. We're also, of course, Amazon, Apple Fire Stick, Apple TV, iPhone app, oksportsnet.com. Lots of places you can find the Oklahoma Sports Network, and we're excited and pumped up to bring you this game here tonight on OSN. It's going to be a fun one. 2 good teams, rivals, like we said. It's really kind of everything you could want in a high school football game. We got it tonight here on OSN. Officials going through some last-minute things. Coin toss is away. Looks like it's won by the Racers. And they have deferred to the second half, which I always kind of like. Yeah, they haven't taken, you're right, they have been taking the ball a lot this year.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's the first time we've seen that.
So we'll get the Racers defense first, and we'll get a look at Carson Cooksey and that wide receiver core that we just talked about of the Blanchard Lions up first. They'll be going left to right on your TV screen, and we're getting ready to get this one going. Pumped up, fired up. Going to be a fun one. This has been the Focus Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff. We're going to take one last break. When we come back, we're going to have said kickoff. Newcastle Racers, Blanchard Lions, the first leg of the Tri-City rivalry, and it's next up right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
So that's Will, and that's Tim. And the farm has been in the family now how long, Tim?
100 years or so.
You stopped counting?
Yes.
The idea that 1.5% of this country is feeding 330 million people 3 times a day.
You shut down a lot of oil and gas, you shut down a lot of U.S. ag. All of a sudden, we start paying a lot more for food, and there's a lot more hungry people all over the world.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Back to Racer Stadium. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier, Carson Wade on the production. Uriah Martinez up top. We welcome you on to the Oklahoma Sports Network. However you found us tonight, we're pumped you did. Going to be a fun one. Tri-City rivalry, Racers and Lions. Final key, Billy, for you. We're moments away from getting this thing kicked off.
Well, I really think if Newcastle will just keep their composure, trust each other, stay in their positions. Gina and I talked quite a bit about this on Tuesday night. I think they have the depth. I think they have just working on it and getting in shape with what they did in the summer. They have a good chance of winning this game tonight if they keep their composure. So that's what I'm looking for. They have a lot of leaders on this team that should help them with that. I'm looking forward to a great game.
Kickoff of tonight's ball game brought to you by Auto Accessories Unlimited, specializing in custom paint and body for cars, trucks, boats, RVs, you name it. Paint and body collision repair and modifications. 5600 Huetner Drive in Norman. Call them at 405-360-8855. Toby Batchelder ready to boot it away. Back to return for the Blanchard Lions. Number 1, Brayson Carter. Number 3, Coric Pierce. It's going to be a fun one, Billy.
Oh, it's going to be a great
crowd is fired up. A lot of Blanchard people here, as you'd expect. Great atmosphere tonight. Beautiful weather. Not a lot to complain about. We're in a great spot, Billy.
Oh,
here we go.
I think everybody here is excited, just on the edge of players jumping around.
This game's got some juice to it.
Yes.
Batchelder runs up to the ball, gives it a boot, and we're underway. Racers, Lions. Tri-City rivalry on OSN. Return man here is Carter, and he's not going anywhere. He's bottled up just past the 15-yard line, and that's where the Blanchard Lions offense will start.
He got planted right where he stopped there by Shanuel. Shanuel came in, had him between the crosshairs, and he just laid a boom and stopped him right there at the 16.
Quarterback, like we said, for the Blanchard Lions, number 6, Carson Cooksey, the senior. One of the best quarterbacks, certainly in 4A, arguably the state. But he's got his hands full tonight with this Racer defense, which has obviously been so good to start this season. First play of the game, 4 receivers set for the Lions. Cooksey takes a snap, handoff. Given up here, cut back up the middle, diving across the 20-yard line is Mikhail Howell, senior running back for the Lions. He gets about 5 yards or so.
That's a good start. I think it caught him a little off guard. They were looking for a pass, and I think Cooksey saw they were looking for the pass, saw him aggressive, and he just ran around them and picked up about 5.
Nice little counter play there, picking up that for about 5 yards. Stick with the 4 receiver set. Like we said at the top, they don't really run the ball that much, so figures first play, a 5-yard run for the Lions. Another handoff here up the middle. Not a whole lot there. He'll push forward for a yard or so and sets up an early 3rd down and a big chance for the Racers to get a quick 3 and out.
Well, and again, they come out with 2 runs right there. It looks like they're trying to establish something. And the truth is, you cannot get a passing game going if you don't have a run game going, especially against this defense.
So call it 3rd and 3 officially. Just getting going here, a little over a minute in at Racer Stadium. See if they let Cooksey air it out here for the first time tonight. That he will. Fires to the far side. Pass is caught. First down, turning up across the 30. Spinning out is Reagan Palmer. Looks like the Blanchard sideline hoping for a late flag on a hit there. I don't see one.
I think they're making sure he got out of bounds. I didn't really see a late hit over here. That was a good call, though. Real good call for that first down.
This is, of course, most people tuning in understand this is a big rivalry. These are teams that you have to kind of watch for chippiness as we go along. Two teams that play every year. They know each other well. They're right down the road from each other, like you said earlier. A lot of emotion in this game. So first down for the Lions. Handoff again up the middle here for Howell. Not a lot there at all. He does score 4 for about 3. Got more than it looked like he would after initial contact.
Yeah, that was a good tackle there by Lovejoy. Kind of got right in that gap. They're going to have a game. Him and Rice are going to have a great game to go between covering and stopping the run. Up
to about the 35-yard line, so call it a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6. Boy, he got hit. I thought that was going to be a 1-yard gain or maybe nothing. Good job to fall forward there. So call it 2nd and 6. 3-receiver set for Coach Craig and this Lions offense. Going to go back to Howell again. This time bottled up. He had nowhere to go on that one. And it sets up another big 3rd down.
Yeah, you had big Brady Rice and Hunter Berry just stepped right into that gap, and he did not go forward another bit. Looks like maybe a yard or 2. Brings up another 3rd down.
9:45 and counting to play in this first quarter. First possession of the game. Blanchard Lions, Newcastle Racers on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Converted 1 3rd down. Can they get another one? Cooksey has it. He'll roll out to his right. Got nowhere to go. He's going to fire. Got a man. It's caught. And diving to about the 50. Nice play. There is Corrick Pierce, who you highlighted pregame.
Yeah, he's somebody runs great routes. He's real good. He finds that spot in there where he can get a catch, stops, helps his quarterback out.
So a 2-for-2 start for Cooksey. And the Lions are also 2 for 2 on 3rd downs. Racers done a good job getting them into, potential spots to get them off the field, but twice Cooksey picking it up with his arm.
This is a good matchup down here between Pierce and Lane.
You see Johnston on that far side. Big tackle we talked about. 1st and 10. Handoff here up the middle. Not a lot there. Just a good job spin forward for maybe a yard or 2. On the carry that time was number 14, Vaughn McIntyre, who you talked about a moment ago, is their leading rusher coming into tonight.
Yeah, that was a good stop there right on the line. I mean, who wouldn't miss that? Sendo big number 77 and 54 right into that hole and follow him. So that was real good of team defense to get in there and stop him. I'd watch for a pass now, especially across the middle. That's what they've been doing a lot this season.
Lions got a couple of big linemen because you got Johnson on the left tackle spot. 75, Braden Heffernan, no slouch either at the right tackle. 6'3", 220 for him. So some big boys up front for Blanchard. Play action for Cooksey. He's got all day, but nowhere. Throw over the middle, man, wide open. It's caught. This is Hudson Perriman. He's going to go the distance. 48 yards, touchdown Lions.
Yep. And that's what we talked about. They had that good run going, keeping them in just a little bit. That was one of those things, you got to give that one to their offensive line. Held him long enough that big number 2 there, Perryman, he ran into the middle, and then as he saw everybody kind of closing in on him, he just ducked out behind him. I'm sure they'll fix that and adjust that. But that was an excellent route run and good time by the offensive line.
The initial coverage was good, but Cooksey had all day to throw. Eventually, Perriman leaked out, and there was just nobody behind him. Nothing but green. And he runs it home. Extra point is up and no good. Actually missed there for the Lions. So with 8:17 to play in the first quarter, it's the Lions 6 and the Racers' first possession coming up next. Burt and this offense, how do they respond? We'll find out right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
All right, back to Racer Stadium, Gene Reed Field. Blanchard on the board first. A 48-yard touchdown pass from Carson Cooksey to Hudson Perriman. Extra point no good, so it's 6-0, and the Racers will get the football back with 8:17 to play in the first.
And that might
first look at the Racers offense.
That might be a big miss, too, when you think about what we have in Batchelder. That may be something to come back and haunt them.
If this game's close late, we'll put that in the tickler file for if this game is close late. That's right. For sure. Back to return for the Racers. Got number 5, that's T.J. Bradford, and he'll field this one on a hop right about the 20-yard line. And he gets us across the 30. He'll fall forward to the 34. Good return for Bradford. We want to make sure while the Racer offense gets out that we thank our first quarter sponsor, which is Chris Dumm, All-State agent. Chris knows what life is like here in Newcastle, that you choose your car and your home to fit your lifestyle and your budget. He also knows how important it is to do the same when it comes to insurance. He looks forward to getting to know you and helping you find the solutions that meet your needs. Call him today at 405-392-2390. So there's the Racer offense for the first time tonight. Quarterback, of course, by 3-year starter Jackson Burt. T.J. Bradford faked the handoff to him. Burt back to pass. He's going to bomb it deep. First play of the game. Got him in down there. Bubbling and incomplete.
That was a beautiful route.
That was Jalen Lane, who just cooked his defender. Had a couple steps on him. If that hits him in stride, it's a definite touchdown. But just a little too far out. Couldn't quite tap it to himself.
Yeah, that was just an inch or two. It was one of those inches. But it also spreads out the defense. This may open up the run for them as well, because I think they need to keep the offense off the field.
Got to tell you what, I love the shot. How do you like that first play of the game? Taking a shot deep, and it almost worked. Jalen Lane had a step. Couldn't quite pull it in. So 2nd and 10. Handoff will go to Bradford, the middle here. Cup back across the 40, spins down at the 41-yard line, and that'll set up a 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, that was good. You notice the safety stayed back a little bit farther that time. They saw a little speed from Lane there that last play. So they were back a little bit farther, opened it up a little bit more for Bradford.
7:43 to go in the first. Blanchard picked up a couple of key 3rd downs on their drive. Can Newcastle do the same? We'll find out right here. Burt faked the handoff to Bradford, fires to Lane, pass is caught, cut back, gets up the sideline. He's wrapped up and didn't get there. This is going to be 4th down, and a very early decision for Coach Brickman and this Racers coaching staff.
Well, and especially you've got to keep their offense off the field. That's where it's going to be tough for them. They're getting the offense right back on the field. But I don't know that you can't go for it right here. I don't know. Ooh.
It's a big early spot.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
They're making a statement, it
Call
looks like.
Call it 4th and 3. They're lining up, but they're going to go for it. Might just go hard count. We've seen Newcastle do this very effectively over the years. Play clock at 7. Burt's now backing up. He might be punting this away. Give himself some more room. That's exactly what he'll do. So a line drive punt. This is going to roll down inside the 10. Look at Jackson Burt. What a punt. That's going to roll down at about the 8-yard line. That's where Blanchard will start their next drive. But the Lions, they do what they had to do. They stiffened up. They get a stop. Maybe dodge a little bit of a bullet on that first deep ball. And the Lions offense will be back out there.
Well, that was a great call, that first play. After that, you had to kind of bring it back in, go a little bit more traditional. If that would have been a catch, this would have been a different game right now.
So Blanchard will set up on, it looks like about the 8-yard line, 1st and 10. 7:15 to play in the first quarter. Running back next to Cooksey there is McIntyre.
Yeah, he's the one that's taken most of the handoffs this season.
Cooksey shotgun snap. Back to pass, going to fire deep, looking for his man down the sideline here. Got him! Nice defense by Heskew. Came up and broke that loose. That was Reagan Palmer who got behind his man, but Heskew closed the gap and punched it loose.
Yeah, Reagan Palmer, he's a fast fellow, one of the taller receivers on this team. Heskew, I've seen this all season, just has great catch-up speed. Got there for the pass breakup.
So Jackson Burt missed the deep ball, just a hair overthrown. Cooksey missed that one, just a hair underthrown. If he had put that a little bit further out there, Palmer probably pulls it in, but underthrown just enough going into the wind that Heskew is able to close the gap, make a good play on the football. So incomplete pass, it'll be 2nd and 10. I like both these teams airing it out, though.
Yeah.
I like it. We talked about this is a great quarterback matchup, and so far both coaches are coaching like it. 2nd and 10. Fake the handoff. Cooksey will roll it. He's got a man here in the flat. That's Perriman, but he's swallowed up quickly for a short gain of about 3 or so.
Yeah, it looks like they're giving him 2. That was an excellent tackle. Quick reaction there by T.J. Bradford. Kind of came in and just stopped him, grabbed both legs. You can't run without legs.
Here comes another big third down. Blanchard has been winning these downs early, obviously, both offensively and defensively. But if the Racers can find a way to stop here, you're going to get great field position going back to the way. So a big early play.
Well, it looks like there's been some adjustment down there on the defense. If you look, they got Shanuel up close covering their Hudson Perryman right now.
Got to get to about the 19-yard line. Cooksey checking with his guys. Racer faithful getting loud. Cooksey has the snap. Got time to throw a fire on the flat pass. It's caught. He popped immediately. Ball's loose. It rolls out of the end zone. They're going to say it's incomplete. But T.J. Bradford just separated McIntyre from the ball.
Wow.
Absolute mollywop.
That was a statement tackle right there, a statement hit. And just great job, again, seeing him react on the ball.
Wow.
He's down here in the middle of the celebration. I hope he doesn't get hurt.
Bradford, you could see that one kind of brewing. Bradford came flying in and laid the pop on McIntyre for, I think incomplete pass was the right call. For just a moment, there was a little bit of a wonder if that was going to be a fumble or not, but incomplete pass is the call. And it'll be 4th down. Now we have whistles here ahead of this 4th down play.
Yeah, I didn't see any coach call it for a timeout, so I don't know what's going on.
I have some clarification going on here.
I know they're not calling for a review.
I'm kind of confused now at the spotting here. They have it back at the 8-yard line.
Oh, that may be what he's talking about.
But it was an incomplete pass, right? So it should be back up to where it was,
11.
which was about the 11. It's only a few yards, but if you're Blanchard, you're saying, hey, we want those few yards. We're trying to get out of our own end here. And now they're going to fix it. Okay. Oh.
Wow, it looks like it's still shorter than a yard.
They moved it.
You see Coach Craig coming down and talking to him.
He moved that. You couldn't even really tell that he moved it.
Right. Yeah.
And Coach Craig is rightfully so saying this doesn't make any sense. It was the ball was at the 11-yard line, incomplete pass. By the most basic football knowledge, but I feel confident in saying it should still be at the 11. It was an incomplete pass. So.
Well, and that's just one of those things where the chain moved a little early. If they come up and ask us, we got a replay up here that we could do them. Eric Ledoux could show them where the ball goes.
So we'll see if they get this straightened out. Either way, Blanchard's going to be punting this football, and the Racers are going to get it back. So big defensive play by T.J. Bradford, and now they're going to fix it. Okay, there we go. So the Lions correctly get the ball back to the 11. Bit of a sarcastic cheer from the Blanchard fans on the other side. And now Cooksey will do the honors to punt this one back. Back for the Racers, you have Jordan Lane, 23,
I think
on the near side.
It's Rex, I think.
And Heskew, on the other side. They're all the way up at the 35. Wow, Blanchard's going to throw for this. Cooksey popped! He dropped inside the 5!
Wow.
Wow,
Hunter
I can't
Berry.
believe that Blanchard went for that. Hunter Berry came in and popped him. Wow.
That is amazing.
I'm stunned at what I just saw, Billy. I mean, I'm a little speechless. I don't even know the words.
Well, we all thought that he was going to go back and kick it. I don't know that you want to give Newcastle 2 yards to the end zone.
Well, the Racers now have it 1st and goal inside the 5. Boy, I mean, obviously you can try to catch them off guard, but they're still rushing if it's a punt or not, so they're just going to come clean. I don't know what just happened. Bradford handoff from Burt pushing forward, and he's in! Touchdown, Newcastle! 2-yard touchdown run for Bradford. Thank you, Blanchard, for the Racers, and we're tied up 6 apiece.
And somebody needs to give Hunter Berry down here, number 33, a high five. Tell him great job. He did not give up on the quarterback. I think a lot of people would have expected the kick. Instead, he went and he got Carson Cooksey. I'm like you, a little bewildered at the call, but is what it is. But this may be the point where Newcastle goes ahead by a point.
Spot down, extra point up for Batchelder. It's right through, and the Racers have got their first lead of the night, 7-6 Newcastle. With 5:17 to play in the first quarter, Racer defense back out on the field after this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network. All right, back to Racer Stadium. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier. So, if you missed it there, Blanchard went for a 4th down and about, 8?
8 yards.
On their own 11-yard line. Did not work at all. Hunter Berry came through, flattened Carson Cooksey. The Racers got it. 1st and goal at the 2. Next play, Bradford punches it in. Can you make sense of that at all, Billy,
No.
for that? That decision is
the only thing I can say in that is it's rival mind.
the only thing the thing that makes more sense, and it's still inexplicable, but the only thing that makes more sense is maybe some wires got crossed on what the down was.
Could be.
Because to go for that 4th down is shocking. Anyway, the Racers will take it.
Yeah.
They get a short field, a short field at the 2. Punch it in, and now they have a 7-6 lead. And like you mentioned, that missed extra point. I mean, we got a long way to go, but already it's costing them because they're down right now, and it should be tied.
Well, and that's just a momentum killer right there. I mean, they look like they had the momentum on their first trip down, and now it looks like it's taken away, and you've got Newcastle excited.
Oh, this place is jumping now. I mean, it was fired up, but the start maybe got people a little uneven early. It's back to being on fire. Batchelder boots it away. Be fielded at the 5 by Carter. Carter right up the seam. He's got some room, and he's loose! Breaks the tackle! All the way back, Bryson Carter.
Wow.
This game's off the rails already. We're not even 7 minutes in.
My goodness. So you go from one side jumping to the other side jumping. You saw that hole just develop right up in the middle, and he was running at 1 speed. Then when he saw that hole, he hit another 2 or 3 speeds right there. Just hit the turbo and was around the end. So
the last 5 plays of this game have been highlight worthy. So after that insanity we just documented, Bryson Carter takes the ensuing kickoff all the way back. And now after that missed extra point, they're going to go for 2.
Wow, that was what they needed. That is not what we needed. So let's see what they do here. Looks like going for 2 here lined up.
Carson Cooksey in the shotgun. He'll fake the handoff. He'll fire to the back of the end zone.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh. What a catch by Perriman. Did he get the fade? And he did. Hudson Perriman, a circus catch in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, he got a foot down. That was an incredible catch.
And it's 14-7 now after the 2-point conversion.
And that is in a spot. That's
taking a look at that on the Eric Ledoux instant replay.
Well, and that's right where no one else could touch it. Perryman, being taller than most of the other guys, reached up as high as he could with one hand and squeezed it with everything he had, came down with that. That was a great play. You can't blame anybody in that one, and you can just be impressed with the catch.
Out of the hand of Cooksey, I thought for sure that was overthrown. There was no way. But Perriman, who's a big target, 6'3", got up with his mitt and pulled that in. Good look at it there on the Eric Ledoux instant replay. Eric Ledoux State Farm is your State Farm agent in the Tri-City area. Call him with any insurance questions or needs you may have at 405-392-3992. Remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. We needed him on that one. So,
boy, howdy.
What a just mayhem for 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
It's 5 minutes left in the quarter, and I'm out of breath.
We've had enough highlights for the week. The OSN top plays of the week. We've got several candidates already, and we're 5:02 to play in the first quarter. My goodness.
Well, let's see if Newcastle can muster up a little bit for themselves. This may just go back and forth, and who scores last wins.
So Blanchard's back in front, 14-7. See how they handle the kickoff here. It's going to be a little pooch kick. It's going to bounce inside the 35 and bounce. Ooh, actually stayed in the field of play. That was a good heads-up play by Shane Lovejoy to jump on that. It landed right on the hash on the sideline there, but kicked back toward the field. That's a live ball, but good job getting on it.
And I think they wanted it to come back like that. I think, you coach the players, if it's that close to the sideline, let it bounce. But that one bounced in the wrong direction. We were very fortunate that Lovejoy got on it.
So the Racers offense sets up shop again. 1st and 10 on their own 33-yard line. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. None at the top. The running back next to Burt is Bradford, and he'll get the ball here up the middle. Bradford takes a shot but falls forward down to about the 38-yard line, I should say. About a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, you don't see him fall backwards too often. He just
No.
seems to slide off those tacklers and kind of bounce off a little bit and just keep going forward till his momentum stops.
4:43 and counting to play in the first quarter. Burt checks with his line. Interesting formation here. Now the man will go in motion there. That's Antonio Brown. And he got caught leaning. That's a false start. So the yards picked up by Bradford will come right back. And it'll be 2nd and 10 after the penalty.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Moving in there, it looked like they had something special. They were brewing up there. You had Heskew and Lane down here at the bottom, so we'll see what they come back with.
Yeah, I think they might have been running right to that side, and Brown just a little, trying to just leaning forward, anticipating the play, got caught leaning a little too much.
Well, he's a good-sized fella.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
not going to miss him moving.
205. Got Brown listed at. So 2nd and 10 after the penalty. Burt back to pass. Got a great pocket again. He's going to set up and fire over the middle. Pass is caught. Heskew across the 45.
Great
Juke move down the sideline. Wrapped up at the Blanchard 45. That's a first down.
Great job. Great catch. Cutting across that middle. That's a dangerous area you see a lot of times in college and pros. They're very anxious catching balls in there. Hugh just went up, caught it, and kept running, and a great juke.
That was a great move to get an extra about 10 yards or so after the catch.
And then he lines up, and he's ready to go again.
That was a dart throw by Jackson Burt also. 1st and 10 at the 45. Burt faked the handoff. No, he's going to give it to Bradford. Hands on him quick. Only about a 1-yard gain there. Trey Burchett coming into the game for the first time.
Yeah. That's a good handoff. You got to keep him honest. Picked up a good yard there, good strong yard. I really like Burchett. Just shout out to Carson Bolster. Know that we're thinking about you. Hope you're healing well. I know you're watching this game with us. Burchett does a good job. Another strong runner. They got a pretty deep running back room.
Yeah, Carson Bolster, starting running back, went down in that Plainview game. Sorely missed, that's for sure. Burt, QB keeper up the middle, gets up to about the 40-yard line, sets up a 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, he got up there. He just shot right in that little gap there. I didn't know he was going to get quite that far. It brings up a 3rd and 5.
Got to get to just in front of the 35-yard line, so about a short 5 or a long 4, kind of depending on how you look at it. Almost certainly 4-down territory at this juncture of the field. Burt takes a shotgun snap, hand off to Birch up the middle. Got room, a first down and more. Birch runs over a guy. Got a flag flying in as he moves inside the 30. And it'll be first down for Newcastle.
Boy, he just lowered the helmet and went right at Pierce. I'm not sure what happened there. That's about the area where the flag was thrown, so we'll find out.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever seen a flag thrown for an offensive player running over somebody, but that could be what we had because it was right after that collision happened. You're right.
Yeah, it looks like they've thrown it a little bit behind the play, which may not be good news for us. But that was a great run. Right up the middle, lowered it, hit one of their best players.
So here's the call. And they will go against Newcastle. It's actually – so, yeah, we'll see where this gets marked off to now. Looks like a signal for hold there, right?
Yeah. But it's a spot foul, comes back 10 yards, so it's going to make it 3rd and about 7.
Yeah, they only lose 2 yards from where it was before, but obviously it wipes out the big play. Again, got to assume this is 4-down territory at this spot, so you have 2 plays to pick this up. 3:06 to play in the first quarter. Been a really fun start to this one.
I got 3 receivers down here at the bottom, including the Lane boys.
Schumart at the top. Handoff of the middle. This is Burchett again. Nowhere to go this time. Wrapped up and tackled. That was well done by Gage Ellison, junior linebacker for the Lions.
It was good. They bottled up that middle section there. You saw bodies laying all over the place. He couldn't run through it.
So the Racers probably will go for this, I'm assuming. Wouldn't rule out Burt doing the pooch punt here either, but we'll see. 4th and 6. They are going to go. Burt back to pass. He's going to fire to the sideline. Heskew's got it. That's a first down inside the 35. And the Racers will set up shop right there, 1st and 10. That was a great route right behind the sticks.
And a good throw. He threw that before he turned around. Heskew turned around, and it was right
Ball was there. Yeah.
And he is really turning into one of their clutch receivers right there.
Definitely a good job by Heskew because it looked like the ball maybe snuck up on him a little.
Yes.
Because you're right. He turned around. The ball was almost hitting him in the floor, but he hangs on to it, and a big conversion, a big first down to the 34-yard line. Now we have whistles, and Coach Jeff Brickman and the Racers want to use their first timeout of the night with 2:31 to play here in the first quarter. Wouldn't take it with them. Wild start to this one. Racers on the move, trying to tie this thing back up on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
So that's Will, and that's Tim. And the farm has been in the family now how long, Tim?
100 years or so.
You stopped counting?
Yes.
The idea that 1.5% of this country is feeding 330 million people 3 times a day.
You shut down a lot of oil and gas, you shut down a lot of U.S. ag. All of a sudden, we start paying a lot more for food, and there's a lot more hungry people all over the world.
Back to Racer Stadium, Gene Reed Field on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 2:31 to play in the first quarter. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier with you on OSN in the first leg of the Tri-City rivalry, Blanchard and Newcastle. Already in this game, we've had a 48-yard touchdown pass, a wild turnover on downs, and then a kickoff return for a touchdown. We've had some wild moments, and we're still in the first quarter.
That's right.
We've had a game's worth of moments. We've got a ways to go. Could be a fun night. Already has been. So 1st and 10 for the Racers. 3 receivers there on the near side, 1 at the top. Burt will pass. Another clean pocket for him. He'll step up and fire. Man, wide open is Jordan Lane. He caught it just inside, or just shy of the 10. Blanchard defense just lost Jordan Lane. He was all alone, and the Racers are set up 1st and 10 inside the red zone.
I tell you what, about 2 feet up and a little bit more inside, we'd be looking at a touchdown right now. That was a great pass, and you're right. They lost Jalen.
First trip inside the Trinity Restoration red zone. Top quality roof repair and restoration at Trinity Restoration. 405-695-7040. Give them a call. So the Racers set up 1st and 10 at the 12. After that long pass to Jordan Lane, who's having a great start to his freshman season. Burt play action. He'll fire to the corner of the end zone. I think this is really more of a throwaway. And live to fight another day. It'll be 2nd down.
Yep. I think if they had Perryman, he might. No, I'm just kidding. That was way out there. I think that was a good call, a good idea. But you had big number 5, Ellison, kind of come in there and broke that up. So he just had to get rid of it. That's why you're seeing is a lot more of that smart play with Burt this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, knock on wood. But you haven't seen him make any just really low IQ plays this year. He has been kind of making the right decision a lot of the time. 2nd and 10. Burt back to pass once more. He'll fire to the far side. Diving catch inside the 10. That's Schumard. Catch at about the 6. It'll be a 3rd and short coming up. They can get a 1st down.
That's a good pass, and he's thrown a lot of those, I guess you'd call it back shoulder passes. However, they're coming in and having to back up and kind of catch it right above the ground. So those are good passes where the defense can't get them.
Yeah, some quick passes. Not really, we saw in Heskew on that 4th down, kind of just take your 2 steps, throw it to the spot, and let your receiver go make a play on the ball. I've seen that a couple times.
Looks like I got man-to-man on Heskew down here.
So 3rd and short, they got to get to about the 3.5 or so. Fake the handoff. Burt over the middle, pass high, looking for Schumard. And now you've got a decision to make if you're Coach Brickman and the Racers. Do you take the points with Batchelder or go for it? It looks like Batchelder's coming out.
Yeah, I think this is what you do. Now, you got a kicker like that. You don't want to take any points
Early
off.
enough in the game.
That's
right.
Early
Enough in the game. It's a short field goal. You trust your kicker. I don't hate it either. So it will be 4th down with 1:14 to go in this first quarter, and Toby Batchelder will come on for the field goal try to move the Racers a little closer. Spot down, kick is up for Batchelder. And it is through. Boy, he is money, isn't he? Toby Batchelder punts it through. So with 1:05 to go, it's counting down, shouldn't be. 1:03 is where it settles. It's 14-10. We'll stick here through the break. Billy, I guess kind of just how are you feeling about this first quarter for Newcastle? There's been some really good things, but some ugly things too. The kickoff return, the long touchdown pass. Offense has moved it, but hasn't gotten the end zone yet outside of the really short field. How do you kind of gauge this first 12 minutes here for the Racers so far?
I hate to say this. I'm still a little nervous. It seems like Newcastle has not established itself in the game yet. They really haven't, where you can just say, okay, here they go. There's some good passes by Bird. He's throwing very well, getting them out on the ends fast, so they're not letting anybody get to him. The line is doing well, keeping him off of him just long enough. But you're just almost waiting for Newcastle to take over the game. And that's one of the things I'm a little nervous about, I guess, at this point.
So we've got 1:03 to play in the first quarter. Certainly been an entertaining start, that's for sure.
Very. And I think Coach has done quite a bit of talking to him down here on the sideline about that big hole that was in the middle of the field on the last kickoff.
Yeah, you feel like you're in a avoid Brayson Carter mode probably the rest of the night. We'll see what the Racer defense can do. Obviously, Newcastle defensively had the big – you haven't seen Blanchard drive the ball yet, really. I mean, they picked up a couple first downs, but the touchdown obviously was from near midfield. The other touchdown came on the kickoff. So we'll see how the Racers defense responds here, down by 4 points.
There we go.
Batchelder set to boot it away.
Dang.
And he went and kicked it right out of bounds. That looked like an intentional kick out of bounds, right?
I think it almost hit the junior hires over there on the sidelines in the stands.
Yeah, they want to avoid Brayson Carter. They don't want anything to do with him right now. So kick goes out of bounds, and the Lions will get it up at the 40-yard line. Is that where they put it?
I'm trying to figure it out. It looks like the 35. It's where Newcastle's lined up at least, so they're going to put it over on this hash
35.
mark there.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
so that's where Blanchard will set up. Last drive for Blanchard. Been a while since we've seen the offense. Actually, the last time we saw this offense was that bizarre fourth down attempt in which Cooksey got sacked inside the 5. Racers converted that to an easy touchdown. So we'll see how the Blanchard offense responds after that debacle earlier in the quarter. 1st and 10. Cooksey fakes the pass. He'll hand it off, breaking a tackle. Fighting his way across the 40-yard line is Howell. He was almost ball up for a loss, but did a good job to kind of get through some arm tackles and ends up getting about 6 yards out of it.
Well, and I think you got to be careful. At linebacker, they kind of ran up, got stuck in those holes. They got stuck right in that little area where you couldn't get out of it, so they got to be careful running that far up.
2nd and 4 after the first down run by Howell. Go back to him. Runs between his blockers, gets across the 45. That'll be a first down for the Lions. So we talked about in pregame, it's a team that's thrown the ball a lot in the first 4 games of the year. Kind of leaning a little more into the run so far in the first quarter tonight.
That's what it looks like. It really kind of establishing that run game right there. Are they giving him the first down?
Yeah, he got it.
Yeah, he got it there.
Yeah,
okay.
he got it. First down to the 46.
But, yeah, they're going with that run, and what worries me is you get so focused on the run is when Cooksey just pop it right over your head like he did last time.
Probably the final play of the quarter here. They do have to snap it again. 15 seconds on the first quarter clock. Play clock is down inside of 5 now. Cooksey takes it, hands it off to, he faked it, and Cooksey kept it. Boy, he fooled a few guys. Bounce outside. Racers did a good job to limit the damage, but a nice pull there by Cooksey. He gets up to about midfield. That'll set up a 2nd down and about 6, and that's where the first quarter comes to an end. An extremely entertaining first 12 minutes. At the end of 1, it's Blanchard 14, Newcastle 10. Racers defense trying to get a stop next right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Back at Racer Stadium, getting ready to start the second quarter. Military Appreciation Night at Gene Reed Field, so they had a nice video tribute that played on the board in between the quarters. Had all the veterans stand up, get their opportunity to get some applause, things like that.
Our athletic director, Brent Hodges, presents this game ball to our very own teacher and football coach.
So as you're ready to start the second quarter, Billy, how does Newcastle get off the field? What's the key here? Because obviously Blanchard, they're running the ball pretty well. Cooksey's completed his passes. What does Newcastle need to do differently defensively to try and get some stops here?
Well, one of the things I saw all season long that I'm not seeing too much today is they never ran out of the play, especially on the front line. You saw the defensive ends, the tackles, they would try and stay in there where they could make the play. It seems like tonight their aggression is to get to Carson Cooksey, and be honest with you, Blanchard is just catching them out of place, running right behind them, and putting it on the linebackers and the defensive backs to make the tackle. So I think they're going to have to just stay put for a little bit longer. Don't worry about the short little drives that they get of 2-3 yards. They've got to stay in position and trust their other players.
So right about midfield is where Blanchard resumes this drive. They got to get to the 44-yard line. So 2nd down and 6. First play for Cooksey in this Blanchard offense in the second quarter. Running back next to him is Howell, who's been more the featured back tonight as opposed to McIntyre. Fake the handoff to him. He'll fire a slant route pass. Is caught at the 40. Nice hit, but that's a first down. Completed to Corrick Pierce. And the Lions are on the move here into Racer territory.
And that's where they have most of their success. When I watch a video this week, it's all on those slants to the inside. And so I think that's why your linebackers, Lovejoy and Rice, they're going to be very important tonight.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. 4 receivers set for Cooksey. He'll fake the pass and give it to Howell. Does a good job slicing forward. A late flag comes flying in at the tail end. Usually a good sign for the defense here with where that kind of ended up, but we'll see.
Right there in Holdville. I think when Lovejoy shot in behind him, maybe one of the linemen reached out and grabbed him. I'm not sure. Couldn't see it that fast.
And it is a hold on Blanchard, so wipe out that play and back him up. Do want to make sure we thank our second quarter sponsor, longtime OSN sponsor, Contemporary Family Dentistry. Their #1 goal is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Come in and experience the difference. 1117 Northwest 32nd Street. Call them at 405-387-9300. So after the penalty, Blanchard is backed up to midfield. It'll be 1st down and 20 for the Lions offense. Good opportunity for Newcastle here to try and get a stop. 1st down, play action for Cooksey. Steps up in the pocket, pressure, he'll fire, pass is caught. Immediate tackle, and another flag comes flying in at the tail end of the play. Again, as you like to say, Billy, in Holdville.
In Holdville. I think you saw Cision coming around that left side there, about to get to the quarterback, and the lineman does what they're told to do. If he's going to get to the quarterback, you grab hold of him. It's better to have a penalty than a sack. But it looks like it's going to take him back even farther, especially where you see that flag lying.
Yeah, and it's once again going to go against Blanchard, so they're going to be way behind the sticks now.
Wow.
And certainly we're an opportunity for the Newcastle defense where if you don't find a way to get this stop, that can be a little demoralizing now. I mean, you're looking at a 1st and, if it's 10 yards marked off, 1st and 30 it would be.
Man, trying to see how far that would be. Is they think I get to the 30-yard line?
Official's still kind of talking over some things.
I'll take it to the 36.
So it is a hold against Blanchard.
Yeah, this will be 1st and 34.
They'll bring it back to the 40. Yeah, so 1st and 30, yeah. Got to get, they're on their own 40, and they got to get to the plus 30. Yeah, yikes.
Yeah.
So,
this
is a clunky start to the second quarter.
Yeah, very much. I would watch right over the Newcastle end. This is usually where you might find some of these taller receivers cutting through the middle.
1st and 30. Don't say that very often. Cooksey takes the snap, fake the handoff, back to pass. Good pocket for him again. He'll fire over the middle. Pass is caught right about midfield. And that's where he gets popped. Trey Burchett coming in with a big hit on Pierce. So Blanchard gets one of the holdings back. It'll be second down and about 20 after that completion.
Yeah, that was right where I thought they would probably go, is about the 50-yard line, because they're going to try for these little 10-yard passes here to get down there and make first down. So there's going to lay a lot on Rice and a lot on Lovejoy and Burchett both, or all three.
Right now this Newcastle secondary is doing a pretty good job initially, but Cooksey just has too much time. I mean, you give him enough time with the receivers that this Blanchard team has, somebody's going to get loose. Second and 20, again a lot of time for Cooksey. He's going to fire deep, got a man down there. Incomplete. Boy, that was, talk about threading the needle. What a throw by Cooksey. He dropped that right in the bucket looking for Pierce. 3 black jerseys there, made it just tough enough on him that he couldn't quite pull it in.
Yeah, that was a great throw.
It was.
And I'll tell you right now, I think against some other teams, they probably would have been a good catch. I don't think they're used to the speed you're seeing, especially these Lane boys, Heskew, Shanuel. They're getting back there, getting close to the ball, and I think that's messing up some of it.
So a big spot here for Newcastle to get off the field, and right now it's 3rd and 20. You figure if Blanchard gets, 10 of this back, they probably go for it. So if you're Newcastle, you got to find a way to limit the damage here and force them to punt. Not let them even have a decision. And now we're going to have whistles and a timeout, looks like taken by Blanchard. So this will be the first one taken by the Lions with 10:37 to play in the first half. Feels like a big spot.
It
Billy.
is.
I mean, like I said, if you find a way to let them get, 12, 13 yards, they'll probably go for it. And at that point, you let them pick it up. That's, like I said earlier, kind of demoralizing.
Very demoralizing. Yeah. I mean, they're challenging you right now. And they lined up with 5 receivers. Mm-hmm. And so that's something you really kind of worry about, especially with Cooksey back there. They were doing a real good job kind of mixing up somebody coming in and just kind of sneaking in, making them think about that, and that's opening up for some other players to come close to getting to the quarterback. Let's see if they kind of do that again, or if they come out with 5 receivers. I don't know that they're going to play it too much on the line of scrimmage.
So with 10:37 to play in the first half, Blanchard's up 14-10. They got the football, but it's 3rd down and 20 here at midfield. Josh Calloway with you on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Billy Collier alongside me. Carson Wade doing the production. Up top is Uriah Martinez working the camera for us tonight. Already game 5 of the 2023 season, district game number 2. It was a good start to district play last week for Newcastle, rolling over to Tecumseh. But like we said in the pregame, these are kind of the games that make or break you when it comes to postseason seeding later on down the road.
Absolutely.
Big game tonight.
Here we go.
Been a fun start to it. So here we go, 3rd and 20. 5 receivers set for Cooksey, no running back. So certainly going to air this out, see what they can't get. Man goes in motion, they'll fake it to him. Cooksey back to pass, pressure in his face, he'll fire the middle, passes high off the fingertips of Pierce. Boy, if Pierce pulls that down, he probably gets the first down.
That was a great pass.
He found a soft spot in the defense, but a little high. Pierce couldn't pull it in. And the Lions are now set up with a 4th and 20. And after going for it on 4th and 10 in your own 10-yard line, I'm not going to put anything past Blanchard the rest of the way. So we'll see what they do here.
Well, let's see how they're lined up. They may just go with that little pooch kick. It's kind of a unique look. Yeah, it looks like it.
He's not that far back there. Yeah, here we go. Now he'll back up. Yeah, you can say he probably needs another yard or 2.
Oh.
Now Newcastle's going to take a timeout. So
wow.
Coach Brickman wants to use his second timeout, make sure that everybody's on the same page here on this punt return play with 10:31 to play.
Well, the way they let Cooksey do that run pass option, they very much could be saying if nothing's open, kick it, but stick around, make sure see if something gets open, and that may be Newcastle's expecting the punt, the little pooch punt, and he sees a wide receiver take off. He may hit him in a pass. So that may be what Brickman's talking to him about.
Doesn't hurt to just make sure, things are all buttoned up, make sure everybody's on the same page. It is the first half. I'm always in favor of kind of in the first half you can be a little more you don't have to be quite as frugal with your timeouts. If you feel like you want to talk about something, second half you maybe want to save them a little more because you might need them down the road.
In a 14-10 game.
Yeah, right. So we'll see how Blanchard proceeds here. again, like we said, if you go for it on 4th and 9 on your own 10 or whatever it was, then it wouldn't really put anything past you later on.
Well, and that's what I was talking about. I wonder if the coach says, look, if somebody gets open, pass it. So I really think that's what's got Newcastle a little tepid there. Because even if you punt, you still have to cover the receivers.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just pretend it's a 4th down punt.
About to get ready back to it here. Been, like I said earlier, kind of a clunky start to the second quarter, but a couple of timeouts, a few penalties. Kind of been a little, I think we're on the same series of downs since the start of the quarter, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah, this is about the length of the first quarter, and we've gone a minute and a half.
10:31 to play in the second quarter here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. So he's pretty far back there. I'm imagining a punt here, and that is what's going to happen. So Cooksey boots it away. It'll bounce down at about the 5 and into the end zone. So Newcastle turf does the home team a solid, and the Racers will get it out to the 20 with 10:21 to play in the second quarter.
Well, and they have their stop. Newcastle finally has their stop. It's the first time they've stopped them. Made them punt. I guess they got them on 4th down there on the 3-yard line.
True.
But this is the first time that they have solidly stopped them out in the field, and so that's got to be a good thing coming in on the second quarter.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you look, Blanchard's got 14 on the board, but the kickoff return was one, and the other one was kind of a busted coverage play 50 yards down the middle. For the most part, Newcastle defense has been all right, but you can say the same for Blanchard's defense. Fake the handoff, Burt will keep up the middle, gets a few yards. Obviously, Newcastle's first touchdown came on that super short field. Last drive, they moved the ball pretty well, but had to settle for a field goal down in the red zone. So we'll see what they do this time.
Well, and that was a good run just right up the middle. I can't tell if that's number 15 or number 13 out there. That may be Shaniel.
Yeah, you're right. That's Jackson. Good catch. That's Jackson Shaniel in at quarterback. We've seen them do this, bring him in for some drives and kind of go a little run heavy with him. Also, Shaniel's got, obviously we talk about Burt's big arm. Shaniel's no slouch either as far as arm strength. Fake it and he'll keep it. Pump fake. Flips it out there to Lane, and they're going to say that bounced. Awkward looking play.
That was.
And it'll be an incomplete pass and 3rd down coming up. Looks like Shaniel kind of got caught in between if he wanted to keep it or flip it.
Yeah, I probably would have flipped it somewhat like that too if I saw 3 Blanchard defensive guys right there on me. But that was kind of awkward. It brings up 3rd and 8.
So it'll be 3rd down and 7. Clock kept running there through an incomplete pass, so some extra time went off. 3rd down. Shaniel back to pass. He'll step up in the pocket. He's got time. He's going to fire, looking for his man. And Lane couldn't quite pick that off the turf. So an incomplete pass and a 3-and-out for the Racers offense. So not a pretty drive there for the black and blue. And Newcastle will have to punt it back to Blanchard.
Well, that's right. That's not what you really wanted. It looks like some of the passing tonight has been a little bit low. Not really sure why. They'll probably fix that up. But that was a good route. He was open a little bit higher, and it had been a 1st down.
So Newcastle have to punt it away. 3-and-out and a big stand there for Blanchard defensively. Batchelder on. He'll boot it away. This is a nice punt.
Fair catch.
Coming up to catch him at the 45 is Carter. And that's where Blanchard will set up shop. So good field position for Cooksey and this Lions offense.
That was a good punt. Good hide up there. Got the defense down there. He couldn't really run anything back. You don't want that. You definitely do not
with that
want
guy. We've seen
Carter
that already.
running back.
Newcastle has seen enough of Brayson Carter returning punts and kicks in general.
That's right.
Tonight. They actually gave him the 46, so that's where Blanchard will set up 1st and 10. This Newcastle defense stand up again and keep the deficit to just 4 points.
You're seeing them switching out some players. That kind of helps with some of the coverages and saving some of that energy for later in the game.
1st and 10. Cooksey takes the snap, fake the handoff to McIntyre, back to pass, he'll fire over the middle, looking for his man. Oh, incomplete. Out of the hands of Pierce. Nice defense by Bradford right on him. Then the ricochet kind of sat there for just a moment for 26. Brady Rice had a shot at that, but it falls incomplete.
It almost looked like he was pitching it to him there for a second. Is what it looked like from up here. But I think Brady Rice just was like, wait, is that the ball? So that was good defense by Bradford.
Yeah, Bradford's right on him.
And again, that's why you see most of the time, you hear me say it over and over, those slants to the middle there.
It's kind of been where Blanchard's like to attack. You're right. 2nd and 10, fake the handoff again. Rolls eyes, got Perriman in the flat there. He dumps it off to him. Going to be a first down for Perriman up the sideline, inside the 40. Dancing on the sideline. Where did they actually call him out?
He was 23.
Yeah, about the 22, 23. He was tiptoeing for a while, so a big gain on the dump-off pass to Perriman, who, you know, we talked about Palmer and Carter and Pierce. We didn't talk a lot about Hudson Perriman, but he's kind of been the guy hurting Newcastle the most in this first half.
And I have to give that one to the receiver over on that side, keeping his block down low, letting Perryman get that side. That was a good call at a good time.
So 1st and 10 for Blanchard at the 22, 8:48 to play in the first half. Cooksey handoff to McIntyre, and he's got nowhere to go. Racers bottle him up for a no gain, and be 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, that's good. Ran it up the middle. They're staying put in there. That was a good play. Watch for a fake on that. If he's running the RPO, watch for a fake on that and look in the backfield.
So it is no gain. 2nd down and 10 coming up. This has been, as expected, kind of a slobber knocker game and lots of hard hits.
Well, and you're looking at two great lines right there, and they're just pushing and shoving at each other. You haven't seen them get too far away from the line of scrimmage, so that's a good battle there in the trenches.
Play clock running down. Got to get this off. They just do. Cooksey faked the handoff, pressure in his face over the middle. Picked off! You can see that one brewing right out of the hand. It's Jackson Shanuel. Takes it back to the 25. Big turnover. Racers get the ball back.
And I am so happy about that because on that long touchdown pass we had earlier, the guy got behind Shanuel. It's his job to make sure nobody gets behind him. And right there, you saw him stay in place. He didn't let anybody get behind him, was able to make the play on that ball and come up with the interception.
Good look at it on the Eric Ledoux State Farm instant replay. Shanuel read that perfectly. Cooksey just airmailed it a tad. That was enough. Shanuel all over it, picked it off. Big interception. And Newcastle gets the ball back. 1st and 10 at the 25 with 7:53 to play in the first half. Jackson Burt back out there on offense for the Racers. 4 receiver set. Bradford, the running back next to him. Fake the handoff. Burt back to pass. He's going to air it out over the middle for Schumar. Incomplete. Schumar was open. Maybe a little kind of miscommunication there a little bit. It looked like Schumar was kind of running more up the seam, whereas Burt threw it out over the middle.
Well, I think when they're playing a zone like that, receivers kind of look for the soft spots, and I think Burt was expecting him to continue the route. So that was one of those things just that's probably one of the most difficult things for a receiver quarterback to communicate.
I tell you what, you know, high school football just by nature is very kind of run-oriented. These teams have been throwing it all over the place tonight. It's kind of why the first half's been taking so long. Hand off in the middle, right on cue. Here's Bradford breaking tackles across the 35-yard line. That's a first down. He was shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, Ellison there saved a touchdown. He was just a blur back there, and he just barely got stopped right there.
So a first down to the 36-yard line. See if that gets the Rangers going a little bit. Offense had gotten a little stagnant. Back to Bradford again, right up the gut, across the 40. Another solid pickup of about 4.
And you're starting to see that offensive line is moving forward. You're seeing them get on the other side of the defensive line. That's some good stuff. They may see some runs going on right there.
2nd down and 6.
2nd and 6.
7:19 and counting to play until halftime. 4 receiver set for Burt. Back to pass. He'll fire out to that far side. Pass is caught. That's a first down. Wrapped up just in front of the marker. That's Rex Heskew just shy of midfield, and the Racers are on the move.
Yeah, good pass. You notice that one was up a little bit, got an extra couple of yards out of it. Good power, not going down easy, using his muscles to move forward. So that was a good play, good pass.
Again, these kind of timing pass plays, just 2 steps, boom. You know, put it right where the spot is, trust your receiver to run a good route. You've seen the Racers do that a few times tonight with very high success. Works again there, first down. Just shy midfield. Burt faked the handoff. He's going to pass it again. Got time. Steps over to his left. He's going to take off, but they got a penalty flag in as he breaks the tackle. Burt dives across the first down marker, but this one is more than likely coming back.
Yeah, it looked kind of like a clothesline hold there. Somebody coming through, blitzing through there. And so that one may come back and hurt a little bit.
Officials talking about it, but again, as we say very often, in Holdville.
In
So
Holdville.
Likely coming back.
But what you're noticing right here is it looks like Newcastle is kind of establishing their game.
Right.
They're kind of stepping forward. It's not looking like you're wondering what they're going to do next. They kind of have a game play. They're walking backwards, so I think it is going to be against them. But you're seeing that they're playing with some determination right now.
So there's a hold on the Racers. Wipes out that first down run for Burt. First quarter, we really didn't have a lot of penalties. Second quarter's been a little sloppier.
And it's all happened about midfield.
Yeah, you're right. Kind of when the offense are just getting going, a couple first downs. This is what derails a drive. Better than anything, it's penalties. So 1st and 20 after the hold. Burt gives it to Bradford. Only gets a couple. If you could just find a way to broke through the line, there was some room there, but that hole closed down pretty quickly.
Well, and this is how you establish the pass. If they're having success on the run, then I think you're going to see a pass come up. Now, again, you're starting way behind the sticks, and so that's going to be a little tougher.
2nd down and 18, they call it. Burt takes it. He's back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. Oh, and he's hit. And he lost the ball. It's loose. He went to throw it, and it slipped out. Oh, boy, they're calling that incomplete. I don't know how that could be incomplete, Billy. It went backwards.
Yeah, I don't know unless it bounced off somebody. I'm not sure.
And that's what Coach Jeff Craig is saying, is that even if you say he threw that ball, it went backwards. That's got to be a fumble.
Wow.
Newcastle's catching a major break here.
There's a lot of breathing on this side of the field and a lot of noise on that side of the field.
Well, because the conversation is, was he making a throwing motion? But you get what I'm saying. The ball traveled backwards. It doesn't really matter if he was throwing it or not.
Well, and that was good heads up.
Racers catch a break. They're calling that an incomplete pass. That's a massive break, and Blanchard, rightfully so, is hot over that.
Yeah.
And I didn't happen to look at the replay or anything, so I'll reserve judgment until later. But that certainly looked like it traveled backwards out of the hand. Nevertheless, incomplete pass. There's no instant review, so it holds up. Mid-screen here over the middle, looking for Bradford. And that goes incomplete, and the Racers will almost certainly have to punt this now. Blanchard defense is really stepping up the intensity.
Well, and it's a good thing he didn't catch that. He had a lineman that was on the other side of him. That would have been an eligible man downfield, I believe. But, well, no, it was probably pretty close to the line of scrimmage.
It was close, yeah, you're right.
Not sure
about that. It shouldn't matter.
Call.
I mean, whether because he threw it, it should be ineligible either way. But you're right. It was close. Either way, incomplete, and the Lions will get the ball back. Boy, that fumble call, that's a big call. I mean, Blanchard would have had it 1st and 10 on, the 30?
Something like that. Well, I think Newcastle jumped on it, but they got about 10 yards.
Did Newcastle jump on it?
Yes. Yeah.
That's a good catch by you. I thought Blanchard got on it. Nevertheless, doesn't matter now. Batchelor boots it away, bounces about the 31, and that's where Heskew will down it. Solid punt. And with 6:02 to play in the first half, the Lions will be back on offense. All of a sudden, that first quarter had all these big plays back and forth. It's the defenses are taking over this game now in the second quarter.
Yeah. Well, and you're seeing, I think the offensive coordinators are trying to establish a tempo and establish momentum here. And because of that, things are getting a little bit slower. Well, obviously slower than the first quarter. But they're just making it where they're trying to establish some time. You can imagine some of those two-way players are probably getting pretty exhausted.
So 6:02 to play until halftime. Blanchard goes back on offense at the 2-yard line. Cooksey takes a snap, handoff. Oh, that was a little bit of it looked like a bit of a sloppy handoff, but instead Howell takes it and runs hard all the way up to the sticks. He almost has a first down. It's going to be close.
Yeah, it's real close.
But they're going to keep him just short. 2nd down and less than a yard. Looked like Cooksey almost tried to keep that, and Howell said, nah, man, I want it, and just kept it going, but got almost 10 yards out of it.
Well, and you can't blame him. I mean, getting 10.
They did give him 10. First down.
So
move the sticks. 1st and 10 for the Lions up to the 42.
Tell you what, I'm like seeing Blanchard with that well-balanced offense just like we have. We haven't seen much of that this season yet.
1st and 10, 5:15 to play in the corner, and the snap goes by Cooksey. Diving back on it, still loose, and recovered at the 30 by Howell. And, boy, that's a big negative play. That's a 12-yard loss.
That's
Make it
crushing.
2nd and 22 after the wild snap.
That has to hurt, especially after that good run. That has to hurt him pretty bad.
It happened so quick, I don't know if it was just miscommunication or if the snap was just simply high and wide, maybe a little of both.
Well, it looked like Cooksey may have looked at his running back right as the ball was coming, may have just looked away real quick.
So it goes by him. Howell ran back and got on it, but a 12-yard loss. So second down and 22, and again, kind of like the penalties earlier, an opportunity for Newcastle to get a stop, get off the field, get their offense another try. Second and 22, handoff to Howell, right side, not much there. He'll push forward with the pile for a couple, but it's going to be a third down and very long coming up here for the Lions.
Yeah, very long. And, wow, they're giving him a pretty good spot, too. But 34, he's got to get to the 48. Holy cow.
Plus 48, so, yeah, you got to go about 18 yards here. As we near the 4-minute mark to play in the first half.
Well, this is, if you ask me, if they go off of history, this ball is going to land right in front of where you see Shanuel standing there on the end, right between Heskew and Burchett on the other side. That just seems to be their bread and butter.
The midfield end.
Yep.
So, Rakes has a chance to get their offense back out on the field. Man in motion is Carter. They'll fake the handoff. Cooksey back to pass. Got some time. Now pressure's coming in his face. He'll roll it to his right and fire. Looking for him at the sideline. Diving catch is made by Perriman at the 47-yard line. Still comfortably short, but if Coach Craig wants to go for this, you certainly could now, as it's only a fourth down and about 5.
Well, and that was just a heck of an arm strength, getting it to him, and great concentration by Perriman. He's got those long arms. He could reach back and pull that up.
So we'll see how gutsy does Coach Craig want to get here. Blanchard's defense obviously playing quite well right now, but you also probably feel pretty confident you can pick this up. So we'll see. Big decision here. Cooksey's coming up. Obviously doesn't mean much. He can certainly just punt it. Big play. If Blanchard elects to actually go for this and Coach Craig wants to think about it a little bit with 3:06 to play here in the first half. We'll go ahead and take it with him. 3:06 to play in the first half. Big fourth down play coming up on the other side of this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list. Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again. We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma, because we wouldn't be a community without you.
Back to the Castle. Gene Reedfield, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Blanchard leads Newcastle 14-10. 3:06 to play until halftime. So 4th and 4. Looks like Blanchard's going to punt this based off where Cooksey is standing. That's what he'll do. It's a little pooch punt. Will bounce down inside the 20. Takes a Blanchard hop. And Newcastle's going to be way backed up here on about their own 5 with 2:53 to play until halftime. It is important to note, too, that Newcastle will get the ball to start the second half. So a chance to go double up here, although the Racers have got a long way to go to get to where they can get some points on the board.
Well, and I wonder if this is where we're going to see Jordan Lane like we saw him at the first of the season, or Jalen Lane, or even Rex Heskew. Well, even Aiden Schumart. I mean, they're all just kind of coming out here. I wonder if this is where we might see a few of them try and go deep.
A little tougher going this way. You're going into the wind.
True.
When you're going this direction, we saw Blanchard have a deep ball earlier that kind of got caught up in that wind a little bit. Now, Bert's got, obviously, a cannon of an arm. Can cut through it, but still a factor. First down. Handoff to Bradford. The middle makes a man miss. And he's down about the 15. About an 8-yard gain. That, for just a moment, looked like it might be something real big.
Wow.
Boy, TJ Bradford hits the hole hard.
He does.
I mean, he runs through the line at full speed.
Well, and what we've talked about is he ducks down where you can't see him through that line. Then he pops out. You have to respond really quick if you're going to stop him there by the line.
Call it 2nd and 3 after the first down run. Burt faked the handoff pass on the flat. Nobody there for Jordan Lane. He's caught it. Makes, spoke a little too soon. Almost said he made a man miss, but a nice tackle in the open field there by Matthew Tonsing. And it's a very short pickup. This will be 3rd down and maybe 1.
Yeah, they need to get up. I think they need to start that speeding it up a little bit here, getting up there.
Actually, they're going to give him the 1st down. So a late decision and move the sticks. Didn't look like he got it with the naked eye, but end up giving him a favorable spot, and it's a 1st down for the Racers. At the very least, at the bare minimum at least, you want to just get to half without Blanchard seeing the ball again.
That's true.
2:11 to play until halftime right now. Burt takes the pass, pressure in his face, will fire out in the flat. That's caught by Schumard.
Gets out of bounds.
Another solid pickup. Sets up a 2nd down and short.
That's good. That's one of those quick passes.
Again, yeah, those
8
timing
seconds.
routes.
8 seconds off the clock. He got out of bounds to stop it.
Up to about the 29. Boy, that was a weird sight. Newcastle was lined up to snap, and Blanchard had basically their whole team still running out.
Okay.
They moved Newcastle. They moved the ball back about a half yard.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure why. That was strange. 2nd down. Burt takes a shotgun snap. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to fire deep. Looking for Jordan Lane. One-on-one with Carter. Down here. Incomplete. Carter was right on him. Close coverage. And it goes incomplete.
Yeah, that was good coverage on a good route. Good pass. Dropped it right in there. 2 good players going after that ball right there.
It's a good throw by Burt, but Carter closed the gap, was right in there, made it tough on Lane, couldn't pull it in. So it'll be 3rd down and short after the incomplete pass. You mentioned it, wondered if they would see him take a shot on this drive, and there it was, but didn't quite connect.
I'd like to see another shot.
3rd down, handoff to Bradford in the middle. He's going to get the 1st down and more across the 30-yard line. So the Racers are moving the chains here, but fortunately the clock's not really on their side. You need some chunk plays if you're going to get down and try to even get a field goal off.
Well, and I saw Batchelder out here kicking 50-yard field goals. And so I wonder if they're thinking if we can just get down there close and let him kick.
1st down, Burt back to pass. Good clean pocket again, fires in the middle, pass is caught. That was a good find across the 40. That's another 1st down. That was, looks like.
Is that Bradford? No.
It's number 8. That's Longman. Caden Longman, number 8.
And
his first catch of the game.
He's somebody that's got some speed, too, if he can get out in that open as well.
That was a good find by Burt. Kind of just flicked it to his man over the middle. Another 1st down to the 42. Racers continuing to march down the field. 1:34 to play until halftime. Burt back to pass again. And got a flag coming in, probably a hold. Pass will go incomplete. And we'll wait for the call here.
That's going to back him up pretty far, too.
And it is a hold on the Racers.
Flag on the play, holding Newcastle.
So that's 10 yards from where he threw the flag. Let's see here, is it?
If it's behind the line, it's just
from the line of scrimmage. Okay, thank you.
10-yard penalty. So 1st and 20.
Yeah, my heart was sinking when I saw where he put that flag.
10-yard penalty, ball will be spotted at 32-yard line.
So 1st and 20. Both teams have been bit by penalties in this 2nd quarter, specifically holding. 1st and 20, Burt back to pass. He's going to go ahead and fire to the side, looking for Schumard. Kind of ran out of room, incomplete.
Burt's pass intended for Schumard, incomplete.
2nd down coming up.
Tell you what, this would be a good time if we could get a couple of receivers heading way downfield. They just got one guy back there to try and cover the whole area. That's Brayson Carter, and don't get me wrong, he's got some speed, but I don't think he can cover both sides of the field.
Second and 20 after the incomplete pass. 1:23 to play until halftime. Burt takes a snap, low snap, fake the handoff. Steps up, looking to fire deep again. He's looking for his man. Oh, what a catch! Breaking through his Heskew out near midfield, just shy of the 1st down marker. 2 Lions were right there. It looked like he was maybe about to get leveled. Instead, came out scot-free. Big gain, and it's now going to be 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, great job. Great catch by Heskew. Just a good job.
I think it helped him that he didn't know that hit was coming because he kind of just stumbled forward free. Under a minute to play now. Racers only have 1 timeout left. Handoff to Blanchard. He's bottled up. He didn't get it. So now you're going to have 4th down. And now what do you do for Newcastle?
Wow.
45 seconds and counting.
Well, I don't know that you have much of a choice to go for it. You're going to get the ball at the second half. Just, I don't know. You're going to call a timeout, or you're going to Looks like
they
they're
are
going to
go for it. You gotta, you're down to 30 seconds now. You don't want to leave Blanchard too much time. That's what makes this tricky. Man jumped, it looked like he got back. That was Ryder Dobbs who jumped. And now Newcastle slow playing. They do have to snap it. Well, I mean, you can take the delay a game, I guess.
No, he's down here calling timeout.
And Coach Brickman will use his final timeout with 10 seconds to play until halftime. So Newcastle goes the conservative route here. And I think what you said about Newcastle getting the ball for the second half, I think that influenced the decision the other way.
I
Not
agree.
wanting to push their luck too much.
The way they got up there on the ball, I thought maybe they tried to hurry up and snap it and see what they could get.
Yeah, it was about 45 seconds or so. You run up there quickly and you don't get it. Now you just gave Blanchard the ball back with 40 seconds. They have time. That's where you kind of it's a catch-22. It's kind of it's a gamble either way. So plays at the safe route, and we'll see what they decide to do. If they just want to punt it, or they want to throw it deep, or how they want to proceed. I mean, you could throw it deep. You probably use the rest of the clock. If you don't, you wouldn't leave Blanchard much more than just one more snap the other way.
Right.
So we'll see what they do.
And help me out. I can't remember. Did they use all their timeouts?
That's Newcastle's last timeout right there.
What about Blanchard?
Oh,
they have
one. They have one
Okay.
left. So we'll see what Coach Brickman likes to do. Stick with us at halftime, by the way. You can watch the bands perform here at Racer Stadium. Blanchard Band also made the trip, so if any Lions fans are tuned in, they'll be performing here as well. And then Bill and I will rejoin you, give you some scores from around 4A tonight, and we'll get you ready for the second half. What's going to be, I think, a game that goes all the way down to the wire. That's the way it feels right now, that's for sure.
It does. I think they both threw their strongest punches they could in that first quarter.
I mean, we were talking about last guy to have the ball may win it. No points in the second quarter. It was 14-10 after one. We're still sitting on 14-10.
Be interesting to see what they do if he just kind of pooches it and they let it run down 10 seconds down there or what.
I mean, if you throw it 25 yards down the field and maybe get out of bounds, you can maybe get Batchelder a look. That's certainly one thought. So we'll see. Now Burt backing up like he's going to punt it. That is what they'll do. And this will roll down. Newcastle could just wait, let the half end. That's exactly what they'll do. So they smartly waited. Clock hits triple zeros. That's the end of the first half. So 14-10 Blanchard after two. Billy, thoughts on the first half as we go to halftime here?
Well, you saw in the first quarter they both tried their knockout punches. It almost felt like an MMA fight where they tried to end it in the first seconds of the first round. And when neither team went down, then you saw a little bit more of trying to have a consistent game plan. And I think that's when it got a little more ugly, where they had a few more penalties and such. So this is the first time, I believe, that Newcastle is not leading at halftime. Be interesting what Coach Brickman says to them at the halftime adjustments they make. But you have to also understand, Blanchard is also going to make adjustments as well. They're going to come out. They're a really good team. I don't think you've been let down tonight. It's been a great football game, just back and forth, back and forth. So I think coming out in the second half, you may see a little bit more hurry up from Newcastle, but I don't know what Blanchard will do to adjust as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, you saw for both teams, the offenses make big plays, the defenses make big plays, the special teams make big plays. It's kind of been a little of everything. There's not really been any one area that's dominated the game, but no any one area that's gotten really dominated either. It's kind of been all over the place. So an interesting first half, a first and second quarter that played completely different. And so we'll see what kind of game we get in the second half. So we'll step aside. We are at halftime. Blanchard 14, Newcastle 10 at the end of two. Again, stream's not going anywhere. If you're with us on Facebook, get yourself a beverage, use the bathroom, do whatever you got to do at halftime. The bands will perform here on the stream, and then Billy and I will rejoin you in about 15, 20 minutes or so, and we'll give you some scores, and we'll get ready for the second half from Racer Stadium. Blanchard 14, Newcastle 10 after 2 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Please welcome your Newcastle High School Palm Squad. NHS Palm would like to thank the brave men and women who fight for our country.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the Blanchard High School Marching Band. This outstanding group of young musicians is led by directors Jen Kaufman and Kara Van Vickle. Percussion instructor is Tyler Romine. Guard instructor is Allison Pullman. Show coordinator is Todd James and consultant Rich Zampernini. Music is composed by Rob Stein. Percussion by Nathan Langford and Tyler Romine. Our drill rider is Caleb Jones and percussion tech is Alex Price. Our student teacher is Michaela Walker. Solos tonight by Elijah Morrison on trumpet and Delilah Evans on mellophone and Clay Hankins on snare. The band is led on the field by drum major Sadie Crawford. The band invites you to follow our performers as they explore the colors, movements, and muse beyond the big top, where things may or may not be as they seem. The ringmaster has your ticket and invites you to step right up.
Trumpet sounds great though. Way better than Chase, not gonna lie.
I can blow on the trumpet so hard. Everybody hears it.
She's moving her hand where the flag should be. See, look. Her hands are where the flag should be. The one who forgot her flag was standing like this. She walked away like this with nothing in her hands.
See, they're going left, right, up, down, up. Obviously. Left, right, up, down, up, It appears you did absolutely nothing.
good one. Now it's time for the good one.
Please welcome to the field the Newcastle Racer Band. The Racer Band is led onto the field by senior drum major Jackson Lamb and junior drum major Caitlin Lewis. The Racer Band is under the direction of Ryan Siebert and Whitney Callan. Color guard coach is Emily Perkins, and additional staff includes Jay Thompson, Luke Baker, and Kendrick Brown. Music is written by Randall Standridge, and drill is written by Dr. Genevieve Craig. The Racer Band would like to thank their partners, Hideaway Pizza, Jeremy Carter Roofing, Sooner State Bank, Lewis and McCullough Estate Planning Attorneys, Harmony Health, and Greg Solutions, LLC for making this year possible. The Racer Band's 2023 show is titled Pixels. We enter into the digital world and battle through each level to achieve the ultimate high score. Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly present the Newcastle Racer Band.
You're about to see Chase go on one knee.
Oh yeah,
Chase is gonna go on one knee.
He goes.
It's pretty cute. Basically, yeah. That's what he does. Basically, that's what he does.
See, look, that's where he's walking around like this. Let me walk where he goes. Which one's him?
Are you gonna take a picture? Tim, are you gonna take a picture?
When he gets down on one knee, he goes again.
He has 3 trumpets around him whenever he does it. So he's on one knee with 3 trumpets behind him.
Prepare to
Right there. It's gonna be too late. He's gonna get up in 3, 2, 1. Wait, did you actually?
So that's Will, and that's Tim. And the farm has been in the family now how long, Tim?
100 years or so.
You stopped counting?
Yes.
The idea that 1.5% of this country is feeding 330 million people 3 times a day.
You shut down a lot of oil and gas, you shut down a lot of U.S. ag. All of a sudden, we start paying a lot more for food, and there's a lot more hungry people all over the world.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, back at Racer Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Getting ready for the second half between Newcastle and Blanchard. Fun first 24 minutes. The Lions lead the Racers 14 to 10, excuse me. They're going to start the third quarter in just a few minutes. We'll give you some scores tonight in 4A as we get ready to get this thing back up and rolling. We'll start with the 4A2 games. Those are games that obviously Newcastle fans will be most interested in. Yeah, you just pointed this out to me, Billy, during that last break. Tuttle 7-0 on Hera in the third quarter. Just 7-0. Is that what's going on out there?
I don't know.
Is that Hera playing above their skis? Are they better than we think? Is Tuttle just sleepwalking?
Well, and that's at Tuttle.
I know. That's
wow.
a weird one. So Tuttle only 7-0. And again, point margins matter. You want to take advantage and win by as much as you can every time. That could bite Tuttle later if they only win, if they don't win by the full 15. Oh, so there's still a lot of game to go there, but a bit of a surprise there right now. Tuttle 7-0 on top of Hera. Elsewhere in the district, Tecumseh 21-7 on top of Classen SAS at the half there. So the Savages in control, looking to get their first district win. And then we talked about that Bridge Creek Bethany game as being kind of an illumination for those two teams. Bethany all over the Bobcats, 28-0 in favor of Bethany at the half there. So we talked about, is Bridge Creek maybe capable of challenging for that other playoff spot? Is Bethany maybe taking a step back? It's only one half of football in a long season, but all Broncos out there at SNU tonight in that one. So 28-0 there in favor of Bethany. Other games in 4A real quick that we mentioned earlier. I'll get you the scores too. Wagner 17-0 on top of Ulaga to Lala. The Wagner Bulldogs are really good. Nothing new there. Elk City Clinton was an interesting game. I was very curious to see how that game was going to go. Low scoring, but the Elks lead the Tornadoes 7-6 at the half of that one. There's a couple teams that Newcastle is very familiar with in recent years. And the other one we mentioned, that Ada-Hilldale game, another low-scoring game, 7-0 Ada on top of Hilldale. So lots of low-scoring games tonight across the state, kind of including our game, 14-10, not real high, but so there's some scores around 4A tonight as we get ready to start this second half.
And I think you're right. I think a lot of defenses are establishing themselves even more than the offenses, which is kind of odd. In past years at halftime, you usually saw the offense. Score that I saw that really caught my eye is in 6A. You have Westmore beating Jinx at Jinx 14-6. And so
weird year for
Jinx
Jinx so far. They've had some really head-scratching losses, but also some very good wins. So they're kind of an interesting start to their team.
It seems like they're a new team, at least this year. They'll pick back up and probably get back into to it and all, but they're just kind of a different team.
All right, we get ready to start the second half. I want to, of course, thank our kickoff sponsors. We get ready to kick off the second half, which is Auto Accessories Unlimited. Call them at 405-360-8855, 5600 Hutner Drive in Norman. Racers get the ball to start the second half. Energy still really high at Racer Stadium. Fans still packing out this place and get ready to start what should be a very entertaining second half football. It's a weird first half. We'll see what happens in the second 24 minutes. Kick is away and fielded just inside the 20. This is Caden Longman. Makes one man miss. Longman down the seam and a nice return across the 35, and that's where the Racers will set up shop on offense. So, Billy, what's a key for you in the second half? How does Newcastle overcome this little deficit and find a way to pull off this big win?
Well, I think they need to go a little bit more speed, quick tempo. We heard about that all season, how they have the quick tempo. They've got the depth to do the quick tempo. I think this would be a good one because if you can wear them out on defense, their best players are playing both ways. You can wear them out also on offense.
So 1st and 10 at the 36. Here comes Jackson Burt and the Racer offense. Handoff goes to Bradford on the first play. He'll run into the line. Managed to stay up after that initial contact and gets a gain of about 2. Make sure we thank our third quarter sponsors. We get going in the second half. Heat and Air Guy. There's no AC unit, residential or commercial, that shall defeat the Heat and Air Guy. He's there to protect you from surprises for all your heat and air needs. Call the Heat and Air Guy today at 405-305-5734. 2nd down and 7, they call it officially. Handoff fake to Bradford, throws out in the flat, pass is caught. This is Jordan Lane, makes the first man miss. He's got some room up the sideline. Good block by Schumard, dancing down the sideline of the 40. Big gain, and give Aiden Schumard the assist on that. Some really good blocking.
Absolutely. If you're watching this, if you're a young person watching this, wondering, I'm a receiver, how can I be a part of a play when I don't catch it? You just saw it right there by Schumard. Keep those blocks, keep them going, and you let your guys get on down the field.
So 1st and 10 to the 40-yard line. Racers on the move here after that nice little screen kind of dump-off play to Lane. Burt, handoff to Bradford once more. Bounce around the left side, runs hard, gets a gain of about 3 or 4. DJ Bradford, obviously, with Carson Bolster out, the lion's share of the
runs,
responsibilities are going to fall on TJ Bradford, and he's mostly answered that bell tonight. Some really nice runs.
Yeah, had some real good runs, and again, keeping the defense honest. They can't just fade back. They can't overrun it. He gets there before they can see him.
2nd down and 7 after the short gain. Oh, that's a jump off sides and a free 5 yards for the Racers as the hard count claims another victim. This time Jake Carter, senior lineman, a little antsy, and a free 5.
That almost felt like it was out of nowhere. I didn't see that coming. I jumped off sides. So that was a good call by the coaches.
So the 5-yard penalty makes it 2nd down and 2. 10:40 to go in the third quarter, just getting going in this second half. In the Tri-City rivalry matchup. Burt hands off to Bradford.
Good
cuts
cut.
inside the 30, inside the 25, carrying guys with him down to the red zone, but a late flag flies in at the end that may bring this play back. We'll see. It is behind the play, which, tends to be holds, but we'll see.
Yeah, that was an excellent cut by him. You could see that whole excellent blocking. If you're watching the black helmets on the burgundy helmets, you're not seeing white get behind them. So they're staying right there on top of them. So that was a good cut, good run by Bradford. Just hate that it's going to come back.
Yep, so the penalty does bring it back. Spot foul, so it'll be 2nd down, about 9 now. So wipe out the good penalty, had them right on the outskirts of the red zone. Instead, they're back up, and they'll have to go for it again. Burchett now the running back in there next to Burt. Heskew at the top. At the bottom, Schudmard and Jordan Lane, although Lane's now switching sides.
I'd like to see him get the tight ends involved, see if there's a way to get them involved in this game.
See Aiden Elcision in there right now. 2nd down, fake the handoff, fires out to Lane again. Another one of these little bubble screen type plays. Goes inside the 35-yard line. Solid pickup. Sets up a 3rd down and manageable.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to bring him back here to the 34-yard line. Sets up about a 3rd and 4. Of course, you're right here where you probably go for it anyway.
Yeah. Very likely. Big play here. 3rd and 4 at the 34. Got to get just shy of the 30. If they get the 30, they'll have it. Burt checking with his offensive line group. Burt takes a snap. Handoff is going to be given to Burchett. Does a nice cut, runs hard, through some blockers, falls forward across the 30, and another 1st down for the Racers. This has been a very nice drive to start the second half. Obviously got a ways to go and you want to finish it, but so far so good.
Yeah, and that was a good run. He needed that. After the last run got stopped right at the line of scrimmage, he showed a little oomph right there, pushing some defenders backwards and got the 1st down.
10-18 and counting to play in this third quarter. Newcastle on the move, trying to get back in the lead. Blanchard's held it ever since that Brayson Carter kickoff return. Put him up 14-7.
Watch down here low.
1st and 10. Burt faked the handoff. Eyes down the field. He's going to fire, looking toward the end zone for Lane. Miscommunication. Lane cut out toward the middle of the field. Burt threw it to the corner. So just kind of missed his man. Incomplete.
Well, and that was the play. He had him. He had the defender on his backside. Just a straight pass would have got right to him. We walk in the end zone. Just difficult time communicating there.
So a complete pass brings up 2nd and 10. At the 29-yard line, 9:57 to play in the third quarter. Burt takes a snap, handoff to Burchett, running hard up the middle. Not a whole lot of room there. Does a good job to battle his way forward for a few. It sets up a third down and about 6.5, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, he ran right into the embrace of number 54 there, Ross Johnson, and took him backwards. You got to be impressed with that he moved him backwards.
Yeah, Johnson, who we highlighted in pregame, is a big old boy. Very good tackle for this Blanchard team. Does play defense as well. Now 3rd and 7. Probably, again, you would assume 4-down territory. They may try a field goal from here, but depending on the 4th down, they might just go for it. We'll see what happens. Handoff to Bradford, runs up the middle, and we're going to find out because Bradford is kept short. About a 3-yard pickup sets up a 4th down and call it 4, 3.5, 4, something like that.
Yeah, it looks like it's about 4. Hefner did a good job, grabbed his foot and wouldn't let go, wouldn't let him run right there.
So we'll see what the Racers do now, and they're going to go for it. It's just a matter of what do they dial up and does it work. 8:48 to play in the third quarter, and a really big play here. Blanchard faithful on their feet, trying to will their guys to a big stop. Big play. 4th down, take the snap. Fake the handoff, fire in the flat. Jordan Lane's got one man blocking. Breaks through inside the 20. That's a first down. Aiden Schumart again with some big-time blocking. Gets the Racers a first down in to the Trinity Restoration red zone.
And that was a great call. Had him over there. It was man-to-man. So you block one man. That leaves one man that has to make the tackle on the very fast receiver. He just shot up there and got a first down by about a yard.
Aiden Schumart putting on a block party right now. Handoff goes to Bradford, bounce out the left side, shakes off one tackler, runs into a couple others at about the 15.
Oh.
Helmet goes flying off at the end. Bradford's lost his helmet a couple times in this game.
Yeah, they need to check that chin strap.
Playing hard, it's going to happen.
That's right.
See, Bradford's got the extra padding on his helmet, too.
Yeah, he ran out of the grip there again of Johnson. Did a good job, then ran into about 3 of them. He looks like they gave him 3 yards.
Under 8 minutes to play in this third quarter. Been a really good first drive of the second half for Newcastle, but you got to finish it off in the end zone. At the 15. Low snap. Burt fields it clean. He's going to fire to the end zone. Incomplete. Kind of a dangerous pass there. A lot of white jerseys hanging around in that zone, but it falls incomplete, and it'll be third down.
He could not step into that pass. He had somebody coming right up on him. Kind of threw it halfway without stepping, and it fell right in there in the middle of about 4 white jerseys.
Yeah, Aiden Elcision was in the ballpark. I'm not sure totally if he was the intended target. He was around there. And sets up a third down and 6 at the 15. Got to get to the 9. 7:38 to play in the third. Burt faked the handoff. Got time. He's going to fire to the end zone. Pass was deflected and picked off. Intercepted by the Lions, racing back the other way and put down just shy of the 30. That's Ben Hefner. A late flag comes flying in, and a big turnover for the Lions that they needed. The Racers were driving. The ball just came fluttering out.
Yeah, it looks like big number 54 Johnson got his hand on it and just kind of fluttered it around like a dying duck up there in the air. And number 42 there, who'd you say it was? Ben Hefner just ran underneath it. And it was tackled by Burt. I'm hoping the flag is not on him.
So 7.5 to go in the third quarter, and the Lions, a really good drive by Newcastle, marching down the field, but they can't finish it. A big turnover to give the ball back to Blanchard. And we'll see what the call is here on the tail end of the play. Coach Berkman kind of pleading his case, which isn't a great sign for which way this is going.
We'll see what they got here.
And it is going to be a personal foul against the Racers on the tail end of it. So an all-around rough sequence there for Newcastle. So Blanchard gets the big turnover, and they're going to take it all the way out to about the 44-yard line after the penalty. Yikes.
Yeah, and you're going to need to see the defense really key in right now. They're going to really have to play hard. You got a fresh offense over there. Just a sad thing to get an extra 15 yards.
So Blanchard gets the ball back. It's been a while since the Lions have put together a drive. Their lone offensive touchdown of this game came on the very first drive of the game. Since then, the Racers' defense has been really good. Blanchard's other score came on a kickoff return. See if they can hold up still here. Big spot. Handoff to Howell up the middle. Not much there. Another flag comes flying in Holdville. I appreciate this official. He really puts some gusto on his throws, doesn't he?
I think he was a quarterback in a past life.
He really steps into it.
Yeah.
It's not all arms. A lot of these times the refs it's all arms, kind of throw it out there. He really steps in, follows through. Probably another hold. We've seen a lot of holds in this game tonight.
Well, and it looks like he was describing to him what the lineman did. He kind of said he was grabbed him around the pads, so that'll back them up. So they had all this momentum, and now it's cut by the hold.
Yep. That's kind of what's hurt, really, both teams.
Yeah.
Us, the defenses are playing well, but both teams kind of between the 30s have moved the ball okay, but they run into penalties or whatever it may be, and the drive runs out of steam.
And especially between the 40 and the 40, which I guess I don't know that I understand why it has to be in that 20-yard area.
So the penalty backs Blanchard up to the 34-yard line, 1st and 20. Cooksey takes a snap, fake the handoff. Pressure in his face. Pump fakes wants to make a man miss. Rolls out to his right now. Eyes down the field. Fires. Nice pass break up there by Heskew. Absolutely clamping his man. Pass was intended for Corrick Pierce, but Heskew was just all over him. Great play.
That's good. And Heskew has shown such speed in breaking in on the pass. That was a good job. Good fake by Cooksey. He almost got big number 77 for dinner and just kind of faked it, got around there, and it was a good breakup by Heskew.
Yeah, Rex Heskew has done a really nice job tonight on any kind of contested pass his way. He's made the play. He's done a very nice job. So 2nd and 20 after the incomplete pass. Man in motion is Carter. Handoff goes to Howell, and he's buried.
Good job.
Breaking through the line and making the tackle. There's Shane Lovejoy, who is kind of always around the football. He gets his name said a lot every single week we do these games. He's just one of those guys. He stuffs the stat sheet.
Well, and you saw him down here there in the end zone at halftime talking with one of the coaches.
He
were
was ready to go.
Places.
Yeah, he was sitting out there with 10 minutes left in the half, ready to get back out on the field.
Yeah.
So a 1-yard gain sets up a 3rd and long, and the Newcastle faithful is getting loud. Big play here, and a chance to force Blanchard to punt the ball and give Racers some solid field position going back the other way. 3rd and 19. Cooksey takes a snap. Deep drop back for Cooksey. Clean pocket over the middle for Perriman. He's wide open. He caught it. Big hit inside the 40, but that's a 1st down and then some. Hudson Perriman just got lost over the middle of the field.
And that's what he does. That's what he's done all season is he'll run in like he's doing that slant like he's been doing all night, and then he'll just edge out where nobody's at. And because of his height, Cooksey just puts it right on the numbers where only he can catch it.
Hudson Perriman tonight, he's been the mystery that Newcastle has not been able to quite figure out how to solve. In key spots, that's where Blanchard has looked, and a lot of times it's worked. So a big 1st down. Cooksey not ready, and he's buried in the backfield.
Buried by Barry.
I didn't mean to do it, but I'll take credit for it. Hunter Berry's 2nd big sack of the game planted him right on the Newcastle midfield logo. And again, the Lions are way behind the chains.
Well, and he just got free from his blocker. He was able to swipe that hand, do a sweep move. Got around him. Cooksey did not even see him coming.
You run my mind. Never saw him. Come off that blind side. By the time he turned around and saw him there, it was way too late. So the big sack puts Blanchard back behind the sticks again. 2nd down and 19. Right on the midfield logo. Cooksey back to pass. Got some time this time. Barry spinning off his man. Pressure in his face. Fires. Nobody home. It'll go incomplete. And Cooksey paid the price for it as Barry as well as Elcision, both in there, laid the boom on Cooksey as he threw that pass.
And that's what you like. You like to see the defensive ends meet at the quarterback on a pass play. That was a real good job, and he's starting to realize he's running out of time.
So can I interest you in a do-over? We're in the same spot again. Now it's 3rd down and 19. It was 3rd and 20 a minute ago when they picked it up on the pass to Perriman. We'll see what happens this time around. Again, Racer faithful getting loud.
Yeah, you should be able to hear it in the microphone.
It's rumbling. I'm a little worried about these stands going down. I'm hopeful that we're okay.
You got Perriman there in
Gotta watch him. 3rd and 19. Cooksey rolls out to pass to his right. He'll fire off the fingertips of his man Pierce. He would have been short, but certainly would have been a fourth down that they could go for if he pulled that in. Well, the pass a little off the mark, and the Lions will almost certainly have to punt this away now.
That was good pursuit by the linebackers. I think a defensive back came in there. Quarterback, number 6 there, just running out of distance, running out of place to throw.
So the Racers defense holds up. 5:21 to play in the third. And barring, again, after what we saw earlier, you never know.
That's right.
But Blanchard likely punting this ball away. Cooksey checking with his sideline, making sure everything is as it should be. He is going to throw for it. Going down the sideline, incomplete. And for the second time tonight, an absolutely head-scratching fourth down attempt. And the Racers get the ball back in midfield.
That's right. Well, and you know, they have given him the liberty just to kind of make decisions out there on the field like that. I think he thought he had a guy there on man-to-man, but it did not come out that way. He was covered up very well.
Gosh, that's the second time, Billy. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Your defense is playing really well right now. You pin Newcastle inside even their own 20. You're feeling great about stopping them. Now look where they are. They're midfield. Definitely an interesting decision.
Yeah.
Racers will take it. 1st and 10 in midfield. Handoff to Bradford up the middle. Not a lot of room. He does manage to squeeze forward for about 3, though.
He seems to find those small little gaps in there, and even when there's people all around, it's like he almost is in there, almost like a Jalen Hurts, where he kind of gets carried forward a little bit.
Well, for not the biggest guy, he really does a good job of kind of moving the pile with him.
Right.
So they do give him 3. 2nd down and 7 to the 48-yard line. Can the Racers find a way? And there he is again. Same culprit as before. That's 70, Jake Carter again. And Coach Craig said, yeah, come over here for a second, my guy.
Let's talk.
2. Second time he jumped. So the Racers will have 2nd down and 2 after the penalty.
Then we'll see if that kind of slows them down a little bit. They're pinning their ears back, trying to get to those, get to Bradford running through the line. So let's see if that kind of backs them up a little bit.
4:48 to play in the third. Racers on the move, trying to get in the end zone and get the lead back. Handoff to Bradford. He shot out of a cannon again inside the 35, twisting down to the 30.
Oh.
He thought he might have stayed up. It was hard to tell. Ref was right there, so. Well, they do mark him down. A big gain, nevertheless, to the 31.
Yeah, he saw a hole, and he saw a blitzer coming from that side. I think he saw that, knew he had a lot of green over there, and just took off as fast as he could, and he was about 8 yards before anybody even touched him.
1st and 10 to the 31, 4:37 to play in the third quarter. Burt checking with his sideline. Newcastle has moved the ball pretty well. They've had a hard time finishing drives. Can they finish this one? Back to Bradford again. Makes a man miss. Bradford running hard. Down just shy of the 20. I think that's another first down. We'll wait and see for the sticks to move, but if he didn't get it, it's really close.
It is. It's real close. And you're seeing those defensive backs, if they're not grabbing his shoestrings or one of his cleats, he's gone almost every time he runs it.
Eskew saying, hey, that looks like a first down to me, and it looks like they're going to take a timeout to measure this. Boy, T.J. Bradford right now, he's doing work.
Yes. Well, and last year we saw him as kind of that scat back. He'll kind of go and stop. He's added some power, some inches, some muscle, and you're seeing him muscle through some of them guys that are trying to stop him. And he's just, I believe he's a sophomore. Let me check on here.
Yes. Sophomore.
So he's just a sophomore, and so interesting what we're going to see here in a couple of years, that once he gets a little bit more muscle on him, what's going to take place.
After the measurement, it is ruled a first down for Newcastle to the 21-yard line. So the Racers, behind their run game with T.J. Bradford, are plowing their way down the field, getting pretty much at the exact point they were on the last drive when Burt's pass was intercepted.
Well, and I don't think they have stopped them for negative yards the second half or the third quarter, so they may just keep feeding the ball.
Yeah. The way Bradford's running right now, it's kind of hard to argue going away from it. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. 4:13 to play in the third. Handoff to Bradford again. Keep feeding him up the middle, inside the 15, and back once again into the Trinity Restoration red zone.
Now they got to keep going. They're not there yet. They got to keep going. There they go. Looks like they're picking up tempo.
Down to the 14, so call it second down at about 3. Bradford again. Cutback move, punches forward inside the 10, first and goal.
That's a great job, and he just keeps finding those little holes. Kind of ducks down and looks for green and blue and then runs that direction.
Feels like Blanchard's defense on their heels a little bit right now, maybe even a little tired. Newcastle's had the ball pretty much this whole third quarter so far. First and goal at the 9. Burt checking with his sideline, a massive sequence here, obviously. The way the Racer defense is playing right now, you feel like we can just get the lead back. We're going to have a good shot. Fake the handoff, pass the and it's incomplete. Incomplete. Jalen Lane with a, you don't want to say game saver in the third quarter, but a play that won't show up in the box score of him getting the hand in there and breaking that up and getting that incomplete pass.
I don't think they call it a defensive hug, but that was a defensive hug that knocked the ball down.
Do you get a pass breakup if you're on offense? Is that a thing?
Wow.
Boy, that was jumped cleanly by Reagan Palmer. I mean, Palmer looked like the receiver. Yeah, it's like that throw was to him, but Lane got his hand in and broke it up. Huge play. Keeps the possession with the Racers. Run up the middle by Bradford. Not a lot there. He only gets a couple. And now it'll be third and goal.
Wow, talk about head scratchers. That was scary. That would have been a pick 6.
Well, that's one of the things with, we've talked about it several times tonight, these kind of timing plays of just boom, boom, throw to a spot. It's great when it works, but on a play like that, you got to find a way to eat it. You can't throw. Obviously, Lane was completely covered up, but he made a great play to keep it from being an interception. Now you got third and goal. Burt fakes the handoff up the middle, pushing hard, and he's down inside the 5 to about the 4. And that's where it will be fourth and goal. And here comes the play of the night right here. You're definitely going to go for this. I can't imagine you take the field goal. Oh, I take it back.
Yeah.
Looks like Batchelor's coming out. I'm very surprised by this.
Well, and I think they believe if they can get down there and kick field goals and keep them from scoring touchdowns, they'll win this game.
Boy, I'm surprised. I thought fourth and goal at the 4, the way your defense is playing especially, you take a shot. I'm surprised, but I guess maybe that near interception spooked the staff a little. So they're going to kick the field goal. Try and make it a 1-point game. Spot down, kick is up. And Batchelder punches it through with 2:07 to play, 6 to play, 5 to play. Clock's still ticking. 2:05 to play. It's now 14-13. So we got a timeout on the field. Racer defense back out there. It's now a 1-point game on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
So that's Will, and that's Tim. And the farm has been in the family now how long, Tim?
100 years or so.
You stopped counting?
Yes.
The idea that 1.5% of this country is feeding 330 million people 3 times a day.
You shut down a lot of oil and gas, you shut down a lot of U.S. ag. All of a sudden, we start paying a lot more for food, and there's a lot more hungry people all over the world.
All right, back to Racer Stadium. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier. So the Racers, again, can't quite finish the drive off with a touchdown. They do settle for a field goal there and make it 14-13 with 2:05 to play in the third quarter. You like the field goal there, Billy?
What's that?
You like the field goal there? It's a tough call.
I can see the positive both ways.
Yeah, me too. I would have thought that they would have went for it, to be honest. But
I think every time they've tried to make anytime either team has tried to make a statement tonight, it's got shut down.
Yeah,
so I think
that's true.
They did the Marty
Schottenheimer. Fourth down attempts have not been good tonight.
Not good.
Both ways, you're right.
So I think like Marty Schottenheimer used to say, which I can't believe I'm quoting Marty Schottenheimer, don't take points off the board. So
it's a 1-point game. So if you're in that spot again, now a field goal puts you in the lead, obviously. But long way to go still. 2:05 to play in the third. So we'll see what they do here. They've obviously made an effort not to kick it to Carter after he ran the kick back. Looks like they're going to avoid him again, and they will kick it deep, keep it away from him. Fielded by Pierce, the 25. He's going to give it. Oh, he faked it to Carter. Pierce keeps it up the middle. Oh, boy. Big ball came out late.
Oh, they called him down.
They said he was down. Boy, that was close.
So they got 2 for the price of 1 on that one.
That was close. I mean, it wasn't clearly down, but
No.
they did call him down. So
It looked like the tackle was made there by number 7. Good job of his to kind of come back and stay in position there. Who is that? Grady Downey. You know, he could have gone with the fake because there are about 4 or 5 players that went with the fake. He stayed right there where he's supposed to be and was able to make that tackle back on the 37.
So 37-yard line is where Blanchard starts this drive. 14-13, Lions in front, 1:55 to play in the third. Cooksey hands off to Howell. Barry comes in for the tackle there. Rides him to the ground. About a 2-yard pickup.
I didn't know what was going on down there at that time, but it was a good stop there for 3.
I was talking to a friend of mine, Bryce McKinnis, works for Vipe at halftime, and he asked me, he's like, I know these teams are rivals, but they don't like each other very much, do they? And he said that because the first half was a slobber knocker. Lots of big hits, kind of some late pushing and shoving, things like that. It's a testy game.
It is.
It would be anyway, but it's obviously a 1-point game right now, nearing the fourth quarter. It's going to get more and more that way. Howell up the middle. This is going to be a first down for the Lions. Tackled right about midfield. Blanchard hasn't really ran the ball with that much success tonight. They've really committed to it. They haven't gotten away from it. That was one of their better runs of the night right there out to midfield.
That was good. That was a good blocking scheme there by Blanchard. And kind of going back to what you were saying earlier, there's kind of the feeling with all the teams here in the Tri-City that nobody beats on my brother but me. They'll back each other up if somebody from somewhere else comes in, wants to play volleyball or something. But when you get out here on the field and when you start talking football, they're ready to hit.
So 1st and 10 at midfield. Everybody kind of standing, checking. There we go. Now we're ready to it. 1:10 to play in the third. Man in motion is Carter. Handoff will go back to Howell again. Howell bounce outside. He's got the corner, and here goes Howell down the sideline and knocked out of bounds inside the 35. And the Blanchard Lions, I mean, we talked about it at length in pregame, a team that has been very pass-heavy for the first 4 games of the year. They're running the ball. I mean, that's kind of been their game plan tonight, is to run the football.
This does. It's looking a lot like Blanchard last year that just runs it and wears you out. Thing they have this year is about the time you get worn out with the run, they just kind of throw it up over your head. So let's see what they do.
So a big run again there for Mikhail Howell, who's been the featured guy. It hasn't been that much Vaughn McIntyre. It's been much more Mikhail Howell. He's getting it again here. Fights his way forward to get what he can. Doesn't get much. Gets a couple or so, 2 or 3. Just outside the 30.
I think both teams are trying to make a statement right now, and of course they're getting in there close where, you know, it's hard to get it in. You run out of space. If you're a receiving team or passing team, then you want to keep it out around the 20-yard line where you got more space to find open people. They're starting to move into that where I think they're going to keep running.
30 seconds to play in the quarter. Blanchard does need to snap it again. They're taking their time, though. They've been really kind of checking with that sideline. I think they may be kind of slow, kind of trying to get to the end a little bit, trying to survive their way, shorten the number of possessions left, sort of a thing. Now we have whistles. It looks like Blanchard's going to take their first time out with just 17 seconds left to play in the third. Play clock was running down on them there.
Well, that was fortunate for Newcastle because they ran Carter, ran him around to the other side, and there was a little confusion on who was going to cover him, and he was kind of wide open if they'd have hurried and hiked the ball.
So Blanchard on the move here. Newcastle's got to find a way. Something that's also of note, especially as this game goes on and continues to be close, is that obviously the very first touchdown of this game on that very first drive, Blanchard missed the extra point. We haven't seen them try any sort of a kick since. Their next touchdown, they went for 2. And every other time, they obviously have either punted it with Cooksey or they've gone for a 4th down. They haven't tried another field goal or anything since then. So if it gets to that kind of situation, is that even an option for Blanchard to try and kick?
Well,
so
I wonder.
Keep an eye on that.
I think they're going to probably go for it because you have a missed extra point. They may try and go for it, and whether they make it or not, they pin it back, kind of like what you're saying about down here. But that's definitely one of those things that we've got the advantage.
2nd down and 8 coming up. The 31, 17 seconds. So this will probably be the final play of the third quarter unless we have a incomplete pass or something.
Looks like it's man-to-man down here, so watch down low.
Jalen Lane guarding close on Reagan Palmer.
They were close down here, too.
Handoff goes to McIntyre up the middle. Got some room inside the 25. I think that's another first down for the Lions. It is. So Blanchard a first down, and they're on the outskirts of the red zone now. And that should be where we start the fourth quarter as the clock will run down, and that'll be it for the third quarter. So when we start the fourth, the Lions will be just on the outskirts of the red zone. Newcastle needs their defense to stiffen up. Big fourth quarter in the Tri-City rivalry coming up next right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Back to Racer Stadium on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier. Going to be a fun finish here, Billy. 14-13, Blanchard's got the lead as we start the fourth. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. This Lions drive has been all running, just between the tackles, pushing forward, haven't been able to get off the field. And here goes a jet sweep to Carter around the left side.
Wow.
Inside the 10, and he's in for a touchdown. Brayson Carter's second touchdown of the night on the jet sweep. I was waiting to maybe see a penalty flag. It never came. And on the jet sweep, the Lions get a big touchdown. A 100% running drive results in a huge score for the Lions.
Yeah, that was a big run, and he's got some speed getting around that end. It looked like Shaniel had some difficulty getting over there to stop him. And it looks like the coaches are ready to discuss it. So, yeah, that was kind of surprising.
Who's the injured man?
I can't see who it is. There's an injury
on that far side.
On that far side over
There's
there.
an injured racer down all the way at the pylon. I think it might be Jordan Lane. According to our producer, Carson Wade, said he thinks he sees 23. It's like he's up pretty quickly. So the 23-yard touchdown run for Brayson Carter on the jet sweep. Kind of similar to his kickoff return, just speed. Just got around that edge, and if he's in any kind of space, he is really tough to deal with.
And they're running a lot of blockers back over that way. When you got Shaniel coming out of the free safety, and he's going that way, and there's a blocker in his way, you know that their blocking scheme was over to that side. So that was some good play.
It was Jordan Lane, but he's up and running on his own back to the sideline, so he looks to be all right. But a big touchdown for Blanchard, and now here we go again with this. So are they going to go for two here? I mean, they tried an extra point earlier and didn't go well. Went for two the next time, and I think I'm searching for Cooksey.
Cooksey's out there. I saw him walking up there.
They're going to kick it.
I think Cooksey may be the holder. I'm not sure.
Looks like 82 is going to hold, which is
there you go.
Matt Campbell, not the Iowa State head coach. No, Matt Campbell's your kicker. Okay, he's not kicking. 18 is going to hold, which is Reston Vickery.
Well, that's my fault. I saw number 8, thought it was 6.
So there we go. They missed one earlier. This is a big extra point, making an 8-point game. And it went through. So the extra point for the Lions is good. And with 11:48 to play at Racer Stadium, the Blanchard Lions get a big touchdown to extend the lead from 1 to 8. Still a one-score game, obviously, but it just got tougher, a lot tougher for Newcastle. And the gamble for the field goal now that didn't really pay off, because the whole point of that was you get a stop. Now you just need a field goal. Now you're back in the same boat. You still need a touchdown anyway.
Well, and you saw a lot of the defenders, hands on the hips. This game is far from over, but you can tell that touchdown, that hurt a little bit. And so you kind of see them, it affects them a little bit. So we'll see if they come out, see if on offense they get down the field. But they've got to finish a drive. They can't just get down there.
Yeah, here comes the biggest drive of this young season for Newcastle. Now down 21-13 with 11:48 to go. They've been right in this, kind of similar to a lot of these. We've talked about it. You know, Billy, this is our 4th season doing racer football in OSN. These games with Blanchard and Tuttle are always like this. They're always competitive, always back and forth, but it always seems like the Lions or the Tigers, whoever, makes one more big play. There was that big play. Now can Newcastle respond down 8? Still a one-score game. Can they find a way to get down the field, get in the end zone, and get the 2 and tie it up? So with a lot of game left as we're just getting going in this 4th quarter.
That's right. And I think they're going to have to mix it up a little bit. I think if you try to run all the way down there for a touchdown, you're probably going to run out of time to catch up with these guys. Because they're going to run it. They're going to run clock when they get the ball.
So kick is away. It'll be fielded by Bradford at about the 20-yard line. TJ Bradford runs right up the gut. He's got a seam. Nice return for Bradford all the way out near midfield. That's a way to kickstart a big drive.
There you go.
So Newcastle will set up shop just shy of the 50. We'll see what Burt and this racer offense can do in response to the big score by the Lions.
Well, and it needs a response, and this team can respond. We've seen them respond all year. They do their thing, they get down there, and they play, but I think they're going to have to mix it up a little bit, and we'll have to see how aggressive Blanchard gets with them.
So Newcastle sets up 1st and 10 on their own 49, still 11:41 to go. A lot of game left to play here at the Castle. Bradford, the running back, next to Burt. 2 receivers at the top, 1 to the bottom is Rex Heskew. Burt fakes the handoff. He's back to pass. Burt's going to wind up and fire, and it's picked off. Intercepted, miscommunication. Running back the other way for the Lions is Gage Ellison. Takes it all the way inside the 20. Another late flag comes flying in on the tail end of it as a massive turnover there. I'm not sure if it was miscommunication or the ball just didn't come out right. But for the second time in this second half, a massive interception picked up by the Lions defense.
Well, and you got Gage Ellison there, 6'2", and that ball just didn't quite get high enough to get over his head.
So we got a lot to sort out here. There was a flag thrown on the Newcastle sideline. Might be a sideline interference or something like that, of that nature. And a couple racer players that were kind of a little far out there.
Yeah, they're pretty angry. I mean, you can tell the players are getting frustrated down there. They may have got out there close to the side.
So 1st and 10 it'll be for Blanchard in the red zone. We'll see exactly where they end up after all the penalties here. It's just going to be, I think, a warning. Or they're going to mark it off. They're going to give them the yards.
Wow.
It's a 5-yarder to the 12. Well,
Yeah,
for Newcastle, it's hard. You've been punched in the gut a couple times here, but you got to find a way to stiffen up and force Blanchard to kick this, because it's clear that their kicking game hasn't been, real solid. They missed an extra point already. If you can force them to kick it, you might get lucky with a miss and you're still down 1 score. We'll see. A lot of game left.
Yeah, a whole lot of game left. And we wondered what will happen. We talked about on the coaches show, when you hit adversity, that's when a team is made. And so they're facing adversity tonight. Haven't really faced that too much this season. Let's see how they bounce back.
So at the 12-yard line, the Lions will have it 1st and 10, not 1st and 5. So 1st and 10, they have to get to about the 2.5 or 2 to get the first down. Well, the Lions are looking to pick up what would be a massive score. Not put the game away by any means, but make it real tough. Handoff goes to McIntyre up the middle. Not a whole lot of room there. He only gets about a yard or maybe 2.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a whole lot of that out of Blanchard coming up. They're not going to get too outlandish. I think they're going to try and just run, use as much of the clock as possible.
Only giving them about a yard, so make it 2nd down and 9 as we near the 11-minute mark to play here at Racer Stadium. As Blanchard continues to take all the time that they want in between plays. They have really done a nice job at shortening the game. Kind of just trying to get to the finish line right now. 10:45 left. Man in motion. Handoff goes to McIntyre. He'll run up the middle, pushing forward inside the 5. A late flag comes flying in. If that's against Blanchard, it'll be welcomed for the Racers because it's going to be 3rd and real short if the play were to hold up.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't think it's gonna.
That was like boom, boom flag, so I'm not sure.
While they sort it out, and make sure we thank our fourth quarter sponsor, OEC, the Oklahoma Electric Cooperative, taking high-speed fiber where no one else will. No contracts, no fees, just a good connection, bringing you the power of high-speed fiber services to your door. Check them out at oecfiber.com. Penalty goes against the Lions, so a big penalty there. It would have been third down and real short inside the 5. Instead, it's going to be second down and long, backed up out near the outskirts of the red zone. So big penalty.
Yeah, that was not necessarily your best play, but that was something you really needed. Boy, they're still walking.
Yeah, they're out of the red zone now. All back to the 22.
Well, and like you said, there's still a lot of time in this game. If they can get – football is about getting some breaks. If
I mean,
they
the
can get a couple
reality
of breaks.
the reality here is that they have it down in, close or almost in the red zone, but the, points are not guaranteed in high school football the same. It's not the NFL where they're getting 3 points right now. It's not. If you can stop them and get them to a fourth down, there's a decent chance that they either go for it and you stop them or they'll kick it and miss it. So you got to find a way to buckle down here for Newcastle. Handoff McIntyre, cuts back, does a good job to slither his way forward for a few, but still going to be a third and long coming up here for the Lions.
Well, and this is going to be one of those telling downs. I think if they can kind of keep them back there, don't let them get up there. Definitely watch Perryman. Don't let him do that little slant
He's
through
been
the
the
middle.
one that's hurt him. Now that becomes a little tougher to do in the red zone because the field is condensed.
Right.
So it's a third down. They're at the 16. They got to get to about the 3. Just past the 3, maybe the 2.5 or so. So call it a long 13, short 14. Cooksey rolls out to his right, pressure in his face, going to fire to the end zone. Man open, he's caught! Pierce dives, touchdown Blanchard. Carson Cooksey with a dime throw on the run. Pierce caught it, leapt across the line, and the Lions get a massive touchdown here in the 4th.
And that was just one of those passes that we've heard about Carson Cooksey making, that we've read about Carson Cooksey making. They've interviewed him for newspapers. That's one of those plays that we see him do. And great pass and dang,
Yeah, one of those. It was a good throw. It wasn't that really poorly covered, but a perfect throw, extra point up, and it goes through. With 9:25 to play, the Lions lead at 28-13. Racers got a lot of work to do. Still got some clock to work with, but they got to move. Racer ball after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Back to Racer Stadium. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We thank you so much for tuning in, however you found us tonight. Been a fun game. Blanchard with 2 massive scores here in the 4th. It's a 14-13 game going to the 4th frame, but the Lions in under 3 minutes have picked up a 23-yard touchdown run on a jet sweep to Brayson Carter, and then that 16-yard touchdown toss from Cooksey to Pierce on a 3rd and long. A couple of big 3rd and longs picked up in this game for Blanchard. And now the Racers are up against it. With 9:25 to go, you still have time, but you're at a point now where it's got to be score, stop, score. There's really not a lot of wiggle room for anything else. Still time, but that's not going to help. Snap or kickoff botch, but he pulls it in. Is this the moment, Billy, where we remind the folks of 2020? Newcastle trailing Cash on this field by 20 points with about 3 minutes to go. Came back and managed to win.
Well, we're definitely talking to the same people above us that were watching during that game and asking for a little bit of rain down.
So if you're with us that day, you know that anything's possible.
That's right. Well, and you got 23
Blanchard with
and 14
some massive
out there.
subs here. They might not get anybody off, and they just barely do. For a moment, I thought Newcastle might get a free play out of that. Handoff to Bradford up the middle, pushing forward across the 40, running hard. Down to the 42, just shy of the 43. 9:15 to go, so as tough as it is right now, you have to tell yourself in Newcastle, the game's not over. You have time to go score, and if you get a stop, you got time. You have all your timeouts. You got 9 minutes. It could be done. It could be done.
It can be, and as long as you got number 4, 14, 23, and 2 out there, you never know what's coming.
You probably could use a big score, though, like a long play. We'll see. Bradford again, boy, he is running so hard tonight. It's going to be a first down and then some down to the 49-yard line. Clock will stop on a first down while they reset the chains, and every second is precious right now for Newcastle because the clock is not your friend.
No, and this is the hurry-up offense, not by choice. They're going to have to get going and get down there fast.
8:45 to play, 28-13 Lions. Can the Racers mount a comeback that'll be remembered in this place for a long time if they could do it? Back to Bradford again, running hard up the middle inside the 45.
Well, he is. He's just running as hard as he can to get as much as he can.
Well, it kind of feels like right now Blanchard's kind of guarding against the big play, and so the runs up the middle are there. And there's enough time that if they're going to give that to you, you can take it 5-6 yards at a clip. That'll do right now. You still got time, 8:20 to go. They will pass here. Burt drops back. All kinds of time. He's going to go and take off with the middle, and another flag will come in. Runs over a guy down to the 35, but I imagine that this one is coming back, which has kind of been the theme of the night.
Right
Lots
there
of holding penalties.
Between the 40 and the 40, that's where we've seen most of our flags tonight.
Yep. So it is a hold on the Racers. We'll wipe out that first down run for Burt. 8:11 to go.
Yeah, they still have time. They're going to have to keep going forward. We can't have many of those coming backs right there. We've got to keep going forward.
Yeah, no, you got, it's hard enough right now to finish these drives without having to regain yards you already got, that's for sure. So back to your 45. It's going to be second down in about 15 or so now after the penalty. Racers just got set in time. That was close. Burt back to pass. Going to fire. Got a man, boy. Lane and Heskew were both wide open. Nobody within 10 yards of them, but ball kind of fluttered in between them. So it'll be third down.
Oh, and he had a lot of green in front of him. Yeah. He could have got down close to the
they just lost Heskew. He was just hanging out all alone on the sideline. But Lane also kind of just broke loose. So a big play missed out on there. That's kind of been another theme of the night for Newcastle. Some near misses on what could have been really big plays.
Let's see what they come back with here.
3rd and 14. Burt back to pass again. He'll roll out to his right. Got some room here. He's going to go ahead and fire deep. Got a man down there. It's caught at the 10. Racing to the pylon. This is Lane. Dives.
Don't see anything.
There's a flag back behind the play, so hold your excitement.
Oh, no.
I think they marked him out at the 1, but I don't think it's going to matter.
Man, that was a great throw. You saw his arm strength right there,
that was
bringing it down.
That was fantastic.
I think on the run, he threw it about 40 yards.
So the hold goes against Newcastle, wipes out what was a massive play, both in terms of the importance as well as the yardage.
Oh, man. So instead of having it down low, they got to back up 10 yards. That's a difference of what, 60?
I don't know, a lot.
Yeah, like 65 yards.
7:50 to go, and Coach Brickman needs to take a timeout just to kind of reset things for his team with 7:50 left. We'll go ahead and take it with them. 3rd down and a lot coming up for Newcastle on the other side of this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list. Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again. We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma, because we wouldn't be a community without you.
Back to Racer Stadium, 7:50 to go. Racers are back on their own 35 and have a 3rd down and 24 to deal with after another penalty. Back-to-back penalties, one on a first down run by Burt, called back, and then the bomb down the field to Jordan Lane, put him inside the 5. That called back on a hold. It's been a lot of holding penalties tonight, and on both teams. I mean, it's happened a lot in this game. Burt rolls out to pass again. Thought about going up the sideline to Burchett, and he's wrapped up and sacked. Back inside the 25. And now you're looking at 4th down and a country mile.
Yeah, I think they're going to probably have to punt this one. I don't know.
You hate to punt it, but you don't really know what else to do. You're looking at 4th down and 30+.
There is a flag. Okay, out there at the
flag.
40.
Yeah, sure enough, at the 40-yard line. We'll see what this one is. And, it just, removing any kind of team affiliations, it just stinks when big plays get wiped out for penalties. When you're watching a football game and you have these big, exciting plays, and there's been a lot of yellow hankies in this game. And, it's just kind of, again, on both teams. Both teams have had.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times has Blanchard had 1st and 30 tonight because of holding calls, and this penalty goes against Newcastle. It will be declined. It just kind of, when you're watching two good teams playing, you just want to feel like it was – like the game played out the way, you know what I mean? The way
Well, when you
feel like it was decided by the players playing, not just like who commits the less untimely penalties.
Right. Well, and you have Burt, who has the throw of his season so far.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't stand.
So Newcastle punt with 7.5 to go. You have to. It's 4th down, and I don't even know what.
50.
Good punt by Batchelder. Takes a nice hop. Will roll out just shy of the 30. That's a good punt. So Blanchard gets it back, 7:22 to go. Racers have 2 timeouts, and they're down 2 scores. You're moving into needing a lot to happen territory.
Yeah, this is where you need, again, some
but
of those
after seeing
breaks.
that Cast game in 2020, I'll never say never.
That's right.
I'll never say never.
We had a bunch of people who didn't care for the way we were talking before all that started.
Yeah, that's right.
And so we're not going to do that now, but they do need some breaks to go their way. They do need some things to happen.
Well, another thing that's important to note here, too, is that even if Newcastle can't make up the full 15, point differential is still a thing that does come into play down the road. So finding a way to even cut into the 15 could be very useful down the road, even if it doesn't mean you don't come all the way back and win. So that's something to keep in mind, too. You're going to have to play this all the way out. Run for Cooksey up the middle. Haven't seen a lot of that tonight.
No, I haven't either.
About a 5 or 6 yard gain for Cooksey. He is able to run. They haven't really utilized that aspect much.
Well, and you saw the defense react there to number 1 and went around with him, and so Cooksey kept it and just got as many yards as he could.
2nd and 4.
Under 7 minutes to go. They give him 6 yards on that run, so 2nd down and 4. Stick with us after the game. We'll give our Elcision Realty Player of the Game award out. We'll also put the finishing touches on this one and look ahead to next Friday night at Bridge Creek as the Racers get ready to take on the Bobcats next Friday. And we'll have it for you on Oklahoma Sports Network. Handoff up the middle, pushing forward to about the 40. Not a whole lot there. Brings up a 3rd down. This is what the Racers need if they're going to have anyway. Quick stops. They need to find a way to get off the field ASAP.
Yeah, they need it because they got to get in there and score twice.
As we approach the midway point of the 4th quarter, 6:15 and counting left to go. And again, Blanchard, as they should, taking all the time they can, make sure to milk this clock for all it's worth. Blanchard defense, got to give them a lot of credit. Stepped up a lot. Just didn't let the Racers ever finish a drive, not even once. I mean, the one touchdown came off that short field. We're up the middle here, and they do pick it up. 1st down across the 45. And the Racer defense, obviously, for a big chunk of this game, pretty much dominated. I mean, you had the big play in the first drive of the night, and then you had the kickoff return. After that, Blanchard they were stuck on 14 points for a long, long time. But what's going to keep the player, keep Coach Brickman and the team up at night a little bit is that Blanchard was stuck on 14 for 2.5 quarters.
Right.
And the Racers weren't able to make up that gap. They chipped away at it, but they weren't able to make it all the way up. Some missed opportunities tonight, that's for sure.
Oh.
High snap. Cooksey able to pull it in, hand off.
Oh,
and
man.
some tackles across the 50. Nice run. I think that is the first time tonight that we're seeing Tyler Hughes. I mentioned him in pregame. I hadn't really said his name much, but he gets in there on that carry.
Yeah, he made something smell good. And here's, be honest, Newcastle fans are not going to like to hear this. But Blanchard is the one that is picked to win this division. They're a good team. They're a really good team. And this isn't the end of the season because we lose a game. In fact, to remind some of the older people, the year they won the state championship, they lost a game. And so we're going to be there at the end. It's just sad that the game's not over yet. We haven't lost yet. I'm not saying that definitely we are.
Yeah, 4:50 to go. Handoff, pushing forward. Breaking some tackles, running hard is Hughes. He is kept short by just about a yard. Maybe third down and call it 1 here. 4:35 to go.
He's running strong. You got some fresh legs in there. He hasn't been running much tonight, so to get him in there now, he's got some fresh legs.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a good point. .417 and counting left at the 45-yard line. Blanchard set up. Cooksey checks with his line, moves his man from his left to his right. Keep on feeding him. Oh, this time he's bottled up. Nowhere to go there. A few racers there to bottle that up. Taj Smith in there, as well as Nick Lozano.
Yeah,
you had some fourth down coming up.
You had some big guys there, and you couldn't miss. Shane Lovejoy kind of pushed it over to the side, pushed it right into his lineman by coming into that gap there. Just kind of a force in there, what you call that, a blitz, or just getting in there quick.
Yeah, just kind of broke through their gaps very quickly. So 3:34 and counting to go here in the ball game. I don't see much to gain from Blanchard by going for this. I would think that they'll punt, and they will. You're much better off just making Newcastle have to go the length of the field. Nice punt by Cooksey. A roll dead at about the 12. And with 3:17 to go, that's where Newcastle will take over. So they got 2 timeouts, 3:17. Got to imagine you're probably pretty much in onside kick score territory at this point.
Yeah. Field goals won't help you right here.
No.
You got to get down there and get in the blue.
And you probably don't really have, by the time you're on your own 12, so by the time you score again, you're not going to really have time to play defense either. That's why it's kind of
true.
It's probably, unless you get a real big play. Onside kick score, probably the hope now for the Racers. On their own 11. Burt back to pass, he'll fire. Pass caught by Heskew and out of bounds at the 20. That's the right kind of idea.
Yep. Get down there, get there as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Use as little clock as possible.
Looks like he's just short of the first down marker, but he got out, so the clock will hold at 3:11.
Well, he got 10 yards pretty fast. I didn't even see him run. He just popped up, and there he was.
A little curl out. Came out short of 10. It was about 9. Burt back to pass. Second down and short. He's going to go ahead and fire deep. You need a big play. Looking for Jalen Lane. Incomplete. Well defended by Carter. Just stuck right on him. It's hard to run by Brayson Carter.
No.
That's not an easy guy to run by.
Well, and I think to try and get those right in the basket like that, I don't know that you're going to be able to do that against Carter. But just like they've been doing with you, cuts to the middle. I think you're going to see a lot more of the field up through the middle. However, you chance too much clock.
You're at 3:03, so, I mean, as far as – obviously time is not your friend, but as far as trying to do 2 drives, it's not impossible. Bradford up the middle. Gets across the 25. That'll be a first down at 26. Clock will stop for a minute as they move the chains at 2:57. Got to be moving quick here for Newcastle.
Now it looks like they're getting it ready. Coach is already telling them to play.
Yep. Clock just now resuming. Burt back to pass. He'll step up. Pressure in his face. Can he get away? Got to get rid of it. He will. Oh, that was not a bad effort considering he was in no. He was wrong foot, fading away. That was a decent effort considering. Incomplete pass stops the clock at 2:46.
Well, and it was good that he got rid of it. If he had been sacked, the clock would still be running. They'd still be getting themselves together. So.
Devastating if you get sacked there.
So that was a smart play.
Had to get rid of it. 2nd and 10. Burt back to pass. He'll fire the far side pass. Is caught by Heskew and out of bounds at about the 32. Gets about 6 or 7. But Blanchard's mostly going to be willing to give that, although they don't want you to get out of bounds. Doesn't really use much clock.
Right. But it's going to take you a minute or so just to get down the field.
Yeah. I mean, if you're Coach Craig, you're saying, hey, just keep your guy in front of you. Don't give up anything over the top. That's the only way we can get beat right now. Bradford up the middle, across the 35. Looks like they are going to give him the first down.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And that's big because that'll stop the clock for a moment while they reset the chains. This would all be time rolling off if he didn't pick that up right now.
Ball spotted on 36-yard line.
And here goes the clock.
On first downs, you can pretty much get up there and snap it again before it ever even runs. Burt back to pass. He'll step up in the pocket. He'll fire in the middle. Got a man looking for Lane. Incomplete. Just missed him. Jackson Burt obviously has had a great season. Has just been a tick off on some key throws tonight. Hasn't been his, I don't know, his sharpest game, I guess.
Right. Well, and it seems like they've upped the defense. He's been running, and I think he probably could have stayed in the pocket maybe a second or so longer, but they've been running and right in his face the whole quarter.
2:29 to go after that incomplete pass. Low snap. Burt digs it out. Got a good pocket here. Going to fire down the sideline for Lane, and he's out of bounds. Big hit. But, yeah, out of bounds. Lane kind of lost track of where he was a little bit. Was running right down the sideline, out of bounds.
Yeah. It was a good idea, but they were right there with that, too, the defense was.
3rd and 10 Racers.
Just keep thinking they got to get something down the field. You're going to hear this place erupt if they get that touchdown.
.223 to go. 3rd and 10. Bird takes a snap. He'll step up. He can go ahead and take off with it this time. Runs over a guy. Gets across the 40. Down about the 41. And this will be 4th down. And any last glimpse of any hope.
Anything.
Will reside on this play. Obviously, you have to pick this up.
Yeah, and the clock's running.
Yes, yeah, we're near the 2-minute mark here. 2 minutes to play. Burt takes it. Steps up. He's going to try and run for it himself. And now he's going to go ahead and just fire deep, hoping to find Schumard. Nobody home. Lands incomplete. And it'll be a turnover on downs, and that'll be just about all she wrote. The Lions defense, the story of the game tonight, never really allowing Newcastle to get much of a rhythm offensively all game long. Got to give a lot of credit to Coach Craig's defense. They were a little too stiff tonight. So 1:46 to go. Blanchard gets it back. Racers have 2 timeouts if they want to try and use them. But maybe a futile effort now, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, and again, this is the first time they've faced this kind of adversity this year, I believe. And this is one of the best teams in Division II. So we'll see and see what happens when they play the rest of the teams.
And obviously the big thing here, too, that makes kind of just a little salt in the wound is the fact that Blanchard's going to win this game by 15. So they're going to get the maximum point differential off of it as well. That's an extra little – that's kind of one of the things. It's obviously to promote, to keep teams from just beating other teams by 100. But it caps at 15. So if Blanchard had won this game by 60 tonight, it would count the same as it is tonight at 15. So that's a little extra salt in the wound tonight for Newcastle. But
well, and if you think about it, let's say that Newcastle got down, kicked a field goal, and then even though Blanchard won, if they lose, sometime in the season, that point differential is pretty important because it's not 15.
So Blanchard with 1:05 to go, just kind of milking this clock out. Handoff up the middle, pushing forward. He'll get a couple. Again, stick with us after the game. Billy and I will give our final thoughts on this one. We'll wrap it up. We'll give out our Decision Realty Player of the Game honor. And we'll glimpse ahead to next Friday night as the Racers take on the Bridge Creek Bobcats in what will be just our second road game of the year in Game 6. We're going to be on the road a lot in the back half of this year. Hera the week to follow. So a couple of road games in a row. We'll be back here at Racer Stadium in 3 weeks' time when the Racers host the Classen SAS Comets here.
And I'm just glad we're not playing Woodward. And that's
well, we already did that.
I know.
Yeah.
No more of those trips.
Hand up the middle here. Not a lot there for McIntyre. I think he's kept short, but Newcastle not using their timeouts. They're letting it finish up. And that'll be all she wrote. Hard-fought game. Back and forth as even as they got through 3 quarters, but in the money quarter, Blanchard 14, Newcastle nothing, and that was really the difference. The Lions win it 28-13 to beat the Racers. They move to 4-1 on the season, and the Racers fall to 4-1 on the season. And Blanchard goes 2-0 in district play. The Racers fall to 1-1 in district play. So at the end of this one, we'll take a timeout here, our last timeout of the night. We'll come back in just a moment. We'll give out our Decision Realty Player of the Game. We'll wrap things up, and we'll look ahead to next week as the Racers take on Bridge Creek. Stick with us. Post-game show next on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list. Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again. We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma because we wouldn't be a community without you.
Back here at Racer Stadium, wrapping this one up. Blanchard beats the Newcastle Racers 28-13 tonight on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the call for this one. Billy, obviously, this was 14-13 going to the fourth quarter. It was anybody's game. Obviously, it was back and forth the whole night. Pretty much I don't feel like I'm spin zoning anything to say it was a dead even game through 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter, Blanchard dominated. Blanchard dominated the final 12 minutes of this game. Newcastle offense couldn't get anything going, and the Racer defense, which was so good all night, in the fourth quarter, Blanchard just ran the ball. 2 touchdowns to end it, and that really where the game was decided was that drive after the Racers kicked the field goal to cut it to 1, and Blanchard just ran the ball, not one pass, ran the ball all the way down. Brayson Carter, the touchdown on the jet sweep. That was kind of the ball game right there. When it mattered the most, the Lions they've just played better in the fourth quarter.
Well, and they stepped up again. They played some pretty strong teams this year. Played Piedmont. They played some tough teams, and so I think they were ready a little bit more for the adversity, especially as you get into the fourth quarter and the way they stepped up the way that they did. Also, I think something you saw tonight. We were talking about before the game. You have 37 yards as your leading rusher, and yet tonight they come in and they don't necessarily play the way they have in the past, and I think it's because that's what the Racers were giving them was the run. They shut down the pass except for about 5, maybe 6 passes.
Right.
They didn't have much of a passing game, but they could rush them, and they were doing some things. That's a great team over there. I don't think anybody on Newcastle's sideline hang their head, think, oh, my goodness, I can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. That team over there wearing white is probably going to be the team that wins Division II of 4A. And they're a tough team. They're a good team. And they stepped up in the fourth quarter, and I think it's the first time you saw Newcastle face some pretty stiff adversity. Some things didn't go their way. Some things didn't land like they wanted it to land. And so this is the first time that they really had to kind of ask themselves some questions. And I think this week they're going to have to ask themselves some questions, get themselves back together, realize this is just one game in a long season, and then see what they come out with next week and the week after.
Yeah, no, tough one to handle, obviously, because this was, like we said in pregame, this was this has been the hurdle that Newcastle's had a hard time getting over, is
Yes.
finding a way to get these Tri-City games. And this one felt a lot like a lot of them. Very close, competitive game, certainly winnable. It was there for the taking, but in the end, when the chips are kind of down, the Racers have had a hard time making the big plays against Blanchard and Tuttle when we get to the money time in the fourth quarter. So
that's true.
That's our win again tonight. Racers were right in this, but in the end, Blanchard too good in the fourth quarter, especially 14-0 in the fourth quarter, and that was the difference in the game tonight. Blanchard wins it 28-13. Like you said, this is a Blanchard team that's expected to be really good. Newcastle doesn't want to hear that. I mean,
No.
they're trying to get to that next level. That's the whole point of this season. But I mean, Eric Sherman and I did the season preview show, and I had Blanchard my number 4 team in 4A to start the season. I mean, they're a team that's expected to be right up there, at the end of it. But these are the teams that if you want to go deep, which, we talked about with Jeff Brickman many times, want to get to that next level and go deep, these are teams you got to find a way to beat.
Right.
They're close, Newcastle. They're close, but still just a little bit more to go. But we'll see. Big games are still on the horizon. Obviously, Tuttle later, Bethany later, the postseason looms. So it's not like the season is over by any means.
No.
The Racers have got a lot to play for. And this one will sting. These guys are gonna imagine are gonna be hurting about this one for a little bit. But by the time next week rolls around, you're on to the next one, and you worry about this one later. You know what I mean? That's kind of is what it is for now. So
Well, and we'd like to beat everybody. Of course, if you're a Newcastle fan, you want to go 10-0 into the playoffs. That is highly unlikely. But the truth is, let's say we go and beat Tuttle, then we're still in the race there to have a home game in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not like the season is done. This is not a happy night for anybody, us included. We would love to see a win up there as well, but it is also not a season-devastating loss.
No.
This is time where you just look at yourself in the mirror. You say, we still have something in the tank. We still have something to prove this season, and that's what we're going to go do.
100%. So Blanchard wins at 28-13. Let's do our Alcision Realty Player of the Game Award. Boomer and Tiffany Alcision of the Tiffany team, your local realtors with Prime Realty. Go Racers. I think we settled on TJ Bradford in the break. He had the lone touchdown of the night for Newcastle, was running hard the whole night. Really the only consistent offense that Newcastle had in this game was TJ Bradford. He was running really well all night long. Kind of helped the Racers stay in it, frankly, for a long while. He's our Alcision Realty Player of the Game. TJ Bradford, filling in for Carson Balser as that number 1 back. And he's doing a great job right now. He did everything he could to keep Newcastle in it. He also had that huge hit back at the beginning of the game. That was phenomenal. So he's our Alcision Realty Player of the Game.
I agree. I think he had a real good game. He's showing some real strength this season and real power in his running. Not afraid to get in there and mix it up, especially on defense. If you'll notice, all season long, whoever he's covering has not had a good night. Even when it was somebody that Viper, the State, or somebody said is going to be somebody good, he's been enough just to pester them and keep them from having that kind of night.
So next week we're back on the road. The Bridge Creek Bobcats, new place for us since doing this. Obviously, didn't used to be in the same district as Bridge Creek. Then last year after realignment, they came to us.
Right.
So we'll go out to their place next week. Excited for that new stadium, new environment. They got ran over by Bethany tonight. That's a program that's in a total kind of rebuild under Coach Larry Spangler. Obviously, last year Newcastle hammered them here. Right. But it's a team that has improved, obviously. They only had 2 wins last year. They already have 3 this year. They got beat pretty soundly by Bethany tonight. At last check, it was 38-0. It's been a while since we had an update on that, but obviously losing comfortably. But they did win last week at their district opener against Class and SAS. Some early thoughts on that game. Another rivalry game. I mean, it's not the level of this, but it is a rivalry game. It's a chance to turn the page, obviously.
Well, I think the next week's game is going to be how do we rebound.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's an automatic win. I think that'd be disrespectful to a team Spangler is turning around. I think it won't be on the same level as Blanchard. I don't think that's any disrespect to them. But I think next week will be a good game for Newcastle players to go, let's get our season back in order. And I think they should have some pretty good success next week. Like you said, a new place. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I live right here and still haven't seen the new place. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see what they got out there and watch the game.
Definitely look forward to it. So we'll be back next Friday. That's a 6:30 pregame before 7 o'clock kick. As you know by now, Newcastle Racers are playing. We're there next Friday night, Newcastle and Bridge Creek, right here live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Yours truly, along with Billy Collier, will be on the call for that one. That's it for us tonight. This was an awesome game. It was a packed house, huge crowd, lots of people just standing. Lots of Blanchard fans made the trip. This was a highly emotional game. Racer fans were up and ready for it all the way to the end. Blanchard just found a way to get the job done in the fourth. Fun game. Always are these Tri-City games. We look forward to the rest of the season. We're at the midway point. We'll start the back half of the slate next Friday night with Newcastle and Bridge Creek. So, for Uriah Martinez up top working the camera and Carson Wade on the production, my partner Billy Collier, I'm Josh Calloway signing off for now from Racer Stadium. Be sure to tune into the Coach's Show with Billy Collier and Gene Reed on Tuesday nights, 6:30? 6:30 at Luigi's. Either hang out with the guys or tune in on OSN to hear from Coach Brickman and the team as they try to put this one behind them and get on to Bridge Creek next Friday. That's Tuesday nights on OSN. You can watch it at any time, too. It's all archived, so you can go back and check out anything that you missed at a later date. And then we'll be back next Friday, Newcastle, Bridge Creek, pregame 6:30, kickoff at 7 on OSN. That's it for us. We'll see you next Friday from Bridge Creek. Again, for Carson, Uriah, and Billy, signing off from Newcastle. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.